Brigades did it well. They got away to a 5-goal first quarter. Chapman Valley held them goal to goal in each last 2 quarters, but Brigades 7-1, 43 defeated Chapman Valley, 2 behinds, and the Brigades coached by Drew McGregor, 41-point margin in favour of the side there for the Hawks. But you're here for the big one this afternoon. Active West Real Estate, Mitchell and Brown bring you the big clash between Northampton and Railways. Grand Final 2023. Players going into their position. For his thoughts on the game, Peter Keefe.
Glenn, how you going, Peter? This afternoon, 2 very different looking sides. Glenn, you've got a big, tall, strong Northampton side versus a smaller Railway side. A couple of big ruckmen in this side. The ball's going to be one out of centre. The Northampton probably have the ascendancy on the ruck, I'd suggest. And they'll a clean, open game with good looks going into the forward line with obviously Josh and Harry. And they've got the big fellas, the big ruckmen, so they've got big blokes all over the ground. The Railway side has a lot of small guys, so they want to play a contested type game, Glenn, and they want to, try and bottle that forward line up. They want to make sure that forward line Northampton's not open. If they get a quick entry and clean entry, they're in big trouble.
And of course, Northampton, Braden Jupp has won the toss, decided to kick to the golf club end. Peter, big game, very exciting. Of course, some great players playing for both clubs, but of course, the star-studded side of Northampton, Josh Kennedy, and of course Harry Taylor, who's been playing in the league for a couple of years, and of course Josh Cripps, an emerging young player. So a very exciting game here today. Northampton seem to have a really big height advantage, don't they?
Yeah, they do, absolutely. It's the big forwards, obviously they're the ones, but Railways just have to do the hard, in and under, real tight contested play. Here they go.
Umpire Luxton puts the ball into the air. Umpire Luxton's 100th game. Ball goes the way of Braden Jupp, the captain. He gets it on his left boot, kicks it out wide, looking out there for the run of Trent Simpson, going very close to the boundary line. And there'll be a boundary throw-in deep on the Floors Road side of the WA Country Builders Stadium. So the ball to be thrown back in. Umpires this afternoon, umpires Steve Pratt, Brian Cohen and Paul Luxton. All 3 have plenty of experience, and many have had finals experience. The ball comes back into play. So Brigades didn't make it. Northampton are here. Goes the way of Northampton. They get it up forward, looking up there for Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor marks 50 metres from goal, right on the boundary line. So Harry Taylor, with the breeze blowing across the ground, it's going from the clubroom side directly across the ground. So Harry Taylor looking to go for a short pass, kicks it deep into the pocket, looking up there for big Josh Kennedy. He sees the ball across the boundary line, and there'll be a boundary throw-in deep in the left forward pocket, about 30 metres around from the left point post.
You're listening to Radio Mumma, the home of GNFL football. It's a great day here for the GNFL. Just over 20 degrees here in the city. Great conditions for football. The breeze not really favouring either end, but maybe the golf club end slightly as Railways go forward down the Francis Street side of the ground. This is all in sundry and rolls over the boundary. Pete, just about everyone from Northampton is here this afternoon. I reckon the main street of Northampton will resemble the tumbleweed of the Old West.
Yeah, it'd be good to be a thief up there. You just go house to house, wouldn't you?
The only ones left up there are the police, probably. So they're keeping an eye on things in Northampton, but it'll be a big day in Northampton if Northampton can get their first grand final win since 2004, and Railways chasing their first flag victory since 2011. So both sides going at it pretty hard. Of course, both coached by very good coaches. John Reynolds in charge of Railways in his first year as a senior coach. Brady Tomilty and Adam Price in charge of Northampton for the second year in succession. Ball comes back into play. Railways trying to get the ball forward now through Jesse Adamini. Has the ball now, feeds it out. Gets it the way of a teammate in Anthony. Anthony gets the ball over, but a Railways player sees the ball turned over. So the ball goes in, Railways player slips over, and the umpire says you were caught high. So Railways get the free kick. And it goes the way there of the player there in Mitchell Boyle, back in the league side this afternoon. Super player, gets it up towards half forward, and the ball is out of bounds on the full. So that's the breeze blowing directly across the ground. So Northampton have an opportunity to get the ball further down the ground. So Michael Wright, who's been good for Northampton again this year, gets a kick up, finds Tyler Caddy. Caddy goes up forward, and Railways defence are good. Railways defence in Williamson gets it up towards half forward. Almost a good mark to Northampton, off hands, and another minor score. We've played 3 minutes in this first term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton, Glenn Barton, Peter Firenza and Peter Keefe keeping you company on a magnificent Saturday afternoon.
Ball on the far side of WA Country Builders Stadium. A big crowd in attendance here this afternoon for the ultimate game of the season. In the ball comes now from the Force Road side. Goes over the top of a pack of players. Goes forward now for Northampton to the wing. Looks like it's Flynn Dillon there who's first in the race, but it finds the boundary or does it. And the ball will be thrown in just in front of the scoreboard, which has no score on it at the moment, but being played at a frenetic pace is the grand final. On the far side though, let's hope they bring the ball over this side so we can commentate a little bit better this afternoon. The ball coming in now. Players setting themselves up, they go. At the base of the pack comes off the boot of Northampton, going forward into space inside the forward 50. There's a bit of a collision, but it goes the way now of Simpson. Simpson to Kennedy. Kennedy inside the goals. What's he going to do? He snaps it through from Major for Northampton.
So Josh Cripps gets the first. Josh Kennedy gets the first goal of the afternoon. Josh Cripps is the player that got the ball down the field, and with 4.5 minutes gone in this first term, with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton on Drennan O'Malley Motors game day, and Josh Kennedy gets a very, very nice goal and a very, very good way for Northampton to start this grand final.
That sort of stuff you saw there from Josh Kennedy, Pete, I've used this term a lot in the final series, but it's his bread and butter, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that's the confidence builder. Kick one in the first quarter. Josh Cripps is already having a lot of impact in the ruck. I can see it already. He's going to have a lot of impact.
And young Simpson being involved there as well, and he is a player that we heard this morning on Sportshed Saturday, Mick Thompson said could have a big impact on the game today. The ball coming out of the middle now, going the way of Northampton, and it is Aidan Bortallo. He sends it inside the corridor. Kennedy goes up. The crowd go off in unison. The big fella goes to ground. He gets it back to Simpson. Simpson spins around, and on this occasion, he's been inaccurate and through for the minor score. So, Trent Simpson, Glenn, is up and about.
Active West Real Estate scoreboard. Northampton are 1-goal, 1-7. Railways yet to open their account. 5 minutes gone in this first term on Radio Mumma, the home of GNFL football. GNFL Grand Final 2023 as Railways bring it out through Delaney. Goes by hand to Kimberley. Kimberley gets a short pass up the ground, finds a teammate there in a Railways player who turns the ball over in Boyle, and the ball comes back the way of Harry Taylor. And Harry Taylor marks. Harry Taylor asked his question, why wasn't a 50? The umpire said nothing in that. Ball plays on, does Taylor, gets it into the forward line, looking there for Josh Kennedy, but once again the boundary line comes into play.
Harry's trying to wax with Josh. I don't know what's going on. Have a shot, Harry.
The boundary throw in, about 15 metres around from the left point post. Northampton are kicking to the golf club end, but the breeze blowing directly across the ground. Ball comes back into play. Players ask the question. In goes the hard-working player there for Railways in Jace Price, playing against his old club. Ball comes back out towards the boundary line, just in front of the Active West Real Estate scoreboard, and Northampton are 1-1-7, and Railways yet to score.
The problem, Pete, here is that they've got mobile big men. They're big men, but they're not like Lumberers like I was. They're mobile. Flynn Dillon's playing the forward line. It's the biggest forward line in Australian history, I think.
Certainly is, and the player you talked about just went in and grabbed the ball. He gets it down to an underling, and that player is Tyler Caddy, caught in possession. MJ McConnell now, the big ruckman for Northampton, has it just in front of the scoreboard. He goes short, or does he? He finds a teammate there in Boyle. Boyle goes up and takes the mark. The ball, in fact, it's Williamson.
Ted Kerr.
Ted Kerr, I apologise. He'll get into me about not getting his name right this afternoon. Ted Kerr sends it inboard, and it goes the way of Northampton off the half-back line. Coming across now, Braden Jupp, the captain, wearing 17. He told Joshy that's his number, leave off. And he's moved down into the half-forward area now, going the way of Williamson. Williams can't get the ball. He's quickly brought to ground. The bounce wasn't kind for the Northampton player, and the umpire says no prior opportunity, and the ball will be thrown up.
Jamie Williams did really good there because he had three Railways players around him, but he put his body on the line, grabbed the ball. He got tackled hard. Ball comes out, goes away at Cripps. Cripps goes by hand to Walker. Walker gets it forward, but once again, Ted Kerr stands his ground. Ted Kerr in defence, been a good player for Railways over recent weeks. Kicks it out towards Dion Anthony. Anthony draws a player, looking for Letessia. Letessia now takes the ball on, runs back infield. Took a little while to get rid of it, but he goes the way of Anderson. Anderson to Kimberley. Kimberley centres the ball, looking there again for that player who's tackled beautifully, Jace Price. And they said a good tackle there from Braden Jupp.
It was a great tackle by Braden Jupp, straight down the middle, and he finds
Jack Cripps.
The big man in the middle in Jack Cripps. They've got all the tools everywhere this afternoon. Straight down the middle, they should dominate, but Williamson has other ideas. Williamson with the blue boots comes out to our broadcast side. Thank you very much. Comes away now of Adamini. Adamini in turn gets it to Anderson. Anderson down the wing. He's looking for our player in Anthony, and he takes a nice mark in the pocket, and we'll have a shot on goal at the Wonthella end.
Jordan Williamson's doing a good job on Flynn Dillon, but must remember Flynn Dillon hasn't played footy since round 7, so it's a while back, and he's been on a fair cruise around the world since then.
And a clean medal.
Yeah, so he's had a big week and a big year, hasn't he? If he can pull off a grand final today, but there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before that will happen. And Dion Anthony, one of the better players in the Railways side when in front of goals, but this time his kick drops short under pressure. The ball goes away of Kai McVee. McVee goes with a short pass and finds a teammate there in Josh Cripps. Cripps gets the ball up the ground and finds a teammate. That teammate now is Walker. Walker gets it further afield up towards centre wing. Good strong mark taken there by the Northampton player. And Northampton go forward now. Big kick. Big kick up goes towards half forward. Looking there for Harry Taylor. Railways defence do well. See the ball across the boundary line. So 9.5 minutes. And as we mentioned, the breeze is of no consequence really because it's blowing directly across the ground.
That's why the game is being played over there.
We can't see them.
So the ball's just in front of the scoreboard. 9.5 minutes gone in this first term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton on Drilling O'Malley Motors game day. Northampton get a kick forward up towards Harry Taylor. He takes a good strong mark and Harry will shoot on goal from 50 metres out, right on the boundary line. So Harry's a left footer. So he's on the wrong side for a left footer.
Oh, Josh is
so
making the lead.
A short pass.
And he does.
Josh Kennedy couldn't mark, but he recovers pretty well. Goes back in, feeds a handball out. Goes the way of Williamson, but it's picked up by Northampton. Northampton shoot on goal. And they've got another one. A good bit of play. Just picking up who that player was. But Northampton, they get their second of the afternoon. And a good bit of play there on the Active West Real Estate scoreboard.
That's been Dillon, I think.
A 2-1-13 and Railways a no score.
Yeah, possibly Flynn Dillon wearing 24, but
that's who it is.
Could be wrong there.
It's the old saying, Pete, the big men fly and the little men go by train.
Ron O'Malley reckons that's wearing a bit thin now, doesn't it?
This is the last game of the year. Give me a chance.
Hello, you want something good to say?
No,
I'll probably get the sack after tonight.
To be quite honest, he really does like it. Yeah, so ball back in the middle, Northampton, Flynn Dillon back into the lineup, and well, he's paid his dues and scored an important goal for the Rams. 2-1-13, they lead. Railways yet to open their account. Struggling to get it out of the middle as it goes away now of Northampton into the half-forward area. It's picked up by this player in Kingsley Smith, a beautiful worm burner inside. It goes away of Cripps. He can't mark. The ball goes to ground. Players diving on top of it. And the umpire will gather the debris and throw it up again just inside the forward 50. So at the moment, Northampton looking the better.
They are. Big fellas are playing well. Still, Railways are working hard. They're not getting flogged.
Railways have the ball on half-back. Free kick's been picked out. Go the way of Northampton. Northampton have got to be very careful, though, Peter.
Yep.
They don't become too focused on Harry and Josh. They've got other players that can kick goals.
Absolutely.
So here we have it. Bo Walker has the ball. Bo Walker, a very handy incoming player in recent times.
About five or six possessions already, Glenn.
He had a slow start to the season because of injury, but he's worked his way back into good form. So Bo Walker directly in front. Shoots on goal. Not a good kick. Shakes it to the right-hand side and through for a minor score. And on the Active West Real Estate scoreboard, 12 minutes gone in this first term. Northampton 2-1-13. Railways yet to score.
Pete, early in the piece, do you want to pick a clean, I should say, Guardian medal favourite at this stage?
Josh Cripps and Braden Jupp.
Okay, and I've got Bo Walker. Who you got, Glenn?
Yeah, I'd probably go for in the Braden Jupp's court after he takes another mark, but Josh Cripps will be in it as well.
Okay, Braden Jupp just inside the centre square, evades his opponent, sends it into the half-forward area. Harry Taylor's there, almost a one-handed mark, goes to ground, has a couple to beat. Jordan Williamson, as Glenn said, doing good off the half-back flank for Railways early. He's under the pump, kicks it down the Forwards Road side, looking for some support down there. He finds it, and they're away. Railways. Can they get a score on the board? It's Adamini who has it. He kicks it inside the forward 50, looking for a player down there in Anthony. Anthony's trying to play high and make a difference when the ball comes up, but I think he needs to go inward, Pete, if he's to have any influence at the moment.
Yeah, he's, Jesse Adamini's had 4 possessions so far. He's working hard, and Jordan Williamson's working hard off half-back.
So the ball comes back into play. Railways need to make some hay while the sun shines. Picked up by the Railways player there. His kick is a poor one and goes straight to the arm of Jack McQueen, the all full-back for 2023.
Hello to his mum today, Glenn. She told me yesterday, I must say McQueen.
Jack McQueen gets a kick forward, but now a ball's been turned over. The ball will go the way of Railways because Mitchell Boyd was tackled high, and now Railways got the easiest of kicks. Dredd in front, so the Northampton defender gave away a very, very ordinary free kick there by grabbing Mitchell too high. So here we have it. The ball is with Jesse Adamini, and Jesse Adamini is a star goal scorer. He doesn't miss from 20 metres out, directly in front. So there goes the kick from Adamini, and Railways today. Well, he didn't do that very well at all, did he?
They're important, those ones.
I was going into the points anyway, I thought.
So 14 minutes gone in this second term. In this first term, 14 minutes gone with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. So Railways have a now chance to rebound through Anthony, but his kick goes the way of McVie. He couldn't mark the ball. Ball comes to the ground, whistle on play, and there's going to be a free kick go the way of Ben Saunders, the captain. So Ben Saunders is 40 metres out, directly in front.
Game 151.
So Ben Saunders, possibly his last game of senior footy for the Blues, and he hopes to go out in style with the grand final. So Ben Saunders, a very important kick, and get Railways back in this contest very, very quickly. So Ben Saunders from 45 metres out shoots on goal, and he too has seen the breeze take it away, and that fact goes out of bounds on the full. So a couple of opportunities missed by Railways.
That breeze, Glenn, perhaps it's a bit swirly out there. I don't think it's easy.
And just look at the seagulls.
Look at the windsock.
Yeah, there's the windsock. I didn't see it before.
Yeah, the windsock directly across the ground.
Ball coming back in now for Northampton. Williamson coming down into the corridor for Brigades. He gets it to that player in Saunders, but he's unlucky. Caddy gets it now. Just on our broadcast side, he sends it down into space. Running in is Kennedy. The crowd get involved. Kennedy goes to ground. He misuses the ball. It goes into space. Players dive on top of it. And there'll be a ball up just in front of our broadcast position for Radio Mama. Mama.net.au.
What's Josh think he's playing AFL? He's on the wing.
That's what he does. Just what he does. Doesn't matter where he's playing. He plays the same sort of game. The ball coming up into the air. Pretty tight affair. Bertolo gets it to a teammate. He puts it down the throat of Jace Price. Price sends it further afield, and Saunders takes a nice mark. He plays on now to Boyle. Boyle, a nice kick inside the forward 50, and he finds it at Latassia. Did he take the mark?
MJ McConnell.
MJ McConnell came in behind McQueen.
They need to kick this one, don't they?
MJ McConnell. He's going to kick from about 30 metres. See what he can do with this one. The Breeze has played fickle with Railways, and they're kicking to this point. So MJ McConnell. And he comes out kicking toward the Wonthella end. Had a bit of an injury, under an injury cloud a few weeks ago. The kick isn't a good one. The Breeze picks it up and pushes it through for the minor score. So
no score at all.
No score at all.
So the score on the Active West Real Estate scoreboard is Northampton 2-2-14 and Railways 1 behind. So the ball to be brought back in by Northampton defence, and is Kai McVie. Puts it on his left boot, kicks it up along the boundary line, looking out there for a teammate. Ball very close to the boundary line. Railways players fighting hard for the ball. Northampton keen to get the ball across the boundary line, just in front of the WA Country Builders Stadium sign. Good crowd in attendance for Grand Final 2023 in the GNFL Premiership season. Up for grabs this afternoon. Umpire puts the ball into the air. Picked up by Railways. Anthony gets it to a teammate. Ball comes back towards Michael Wright. Michael Wright on half back for Northampton. Kicks it up towards centre wing. Looking up there for Trent Simpson. Simpson's got a couple to beat. Ball on ground. Pack comes out. Goes the way of the Northampton player there in Bertolo. Eventually it comes out into the air. And very, very tough play out there on the wing. Goes the way of the player again in Simpson. Gets it up the ground, but only as far as Railways' defence. So Railways have it through young Giltro, Cody. Cody Giltro goes backwards to go forward. Goes to the way of Drew Tunbridge on half back. Tunbridge goes right back now and gives it to player there in Ruben Ulrich. Ruben gets a kick forward, up towards half-back. Northampton player does well. Took a very good strong mark there in front of Jack Connell, did Northampton player in Cale Cripps. Cale Cripps, the new look Cale with a new haircut, gets the ball forward, up towards Harry Taylor. Ball running free. Northampton have Cripps there, Josh Cripps that is, on that occasion. Railways do well. They get it out of trouble through Adamini. Goes by hand to Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr gets it further up the ground. Looking there for Connell, but Northampton have the numbers. Goes the way there of Bartolo. Bartolo kicks it back. Looking again for Cripps. And Josh Cripps has the ball slapped away from him. And the ball goes out of bounds on the right half-forward flank. And the boundary umpire, Noah Bennett, to put the ball back into play. A really good contest here at Wonthella. 19 minutes gone and 13 points to margin in favour of the Rams.
In it comes now from the half-forward position inside the forward 50 for Northampton. The defence for Railways working overtime as the whistle does sound. The free kick will go the way of Railways.
Geez, he's playing well, Jesse Anamini.
He's getting a bit of the ball, isn't he, early, and he needs to if his side is to win this afternoon. Tries to get it to Jace Price, but the umpire says no. I've blown the whistle, bring it back. So
the Railways backline's holding strong, aren't they? It's a lot of good players. They're holding tight.
They are, but the Dyke sometimes can't hold that long. The ball going across now to Williamson. Williamson in turn switches across to the outer side, but the kick is an errant one. It'll find the boundary first, or will it? No, it won't. It's picked up by the Railways custodian out there in Tunbridge. He sends it inboard, but Northampton gather through Simpson once again. Simpson puts it into space, running out to collect it.
Goes fair in the back of Harry Taylor.
Harry Taylor hits the deck. He gets pushed in the back and now have a shot on goal. But this is going to be interesting because Harry Taylor has been having trouble kicking in the final series. He's got a bit of an issue with his bones at the moment, and he did tell us about that, but I won't go into too much detail. So see what he does here. It might be a short kick, and he may be looking for Kennedy. But Kennedy makes the lead.
He does seem to be chipping it around. He's not really... Yeah, there again, go again.
He does. He's told us he's not travelling that well in that area. So he sends it forward, and it looks like it has been a mark paid by Josh Kennedy.
On hands and knees, he slid in and took a good mark.
Yeah, that's the best slip catches he does take, doesn't he? But as you said, Pete, I think they will wax today because I think that is the preferred option. So Josh Kennedy. Now, I talked about bread and butter. This is certainly going to be okay for him as well. He does a few of these at Optus Oval, the MCG, and also does them in South Australia too every now and again. So let's see, here he goes. Joshy Kennedy coming in, kicking toward the golf club end, does his customary skip, looks good off the boot,
good goal
through the middle, low and easy. Joshy Kennedy scores his second goal of the afternoon. Northampton continue on their lead of 3 goals to 20, and they lead Railways just the 1 point.
Yeah, 2 goals to Josh Kennedy, as you mentioned, Peter. And on the Active West Real Estate scoreboard, Northampton have had a really good start to the contest. Northampton 3-2-20. We've seen Railways go forward on a couple of occasions. Got only 1 point. They really need to get a score on the board, Peter.
It looks like that's the scoring end, doesn't it? It
does, yeah.
Northampton obviously kick this way in the next quarter, but when you've got confidence, you kick 2 goals, you're in it now.
And that was a very good goal. I mean, he's a super player at AFL level, so he still knows how to kick, of course. And that was a beautiful goal in these conditions from deep in the pocket. Up they go. Flynn Dillon's having a run on the ruck in the ball, which is good to see. So the ball comes out, goes the way of Flynn Dillon again. Looking for some movement. He finds Braden Jupp. He's only got a left foot and he uses it well. Goes the way of Tyler Caddy, the man from Kalbarri. He gets it up the ground. Finds a teammate there who feeds it out. That was Jaden Paletti. Gets it on to Northampton, who get it deep into the pocket. Looking up there for Josh Cripps, who seems to be using his big height in the forward line as well. So Josh Cripps didn't get hold of that ball. He's doing his bootlace up now as the ball will be thrown back in.
9 minutes of the first term, Glenn.
Yes, not long left because there won't be a lot of time on him. 3 goals scored by Northampton. Ball comes the way of Kennedy. Throws it on his right boot, kicks it right up towards the teeth of goal. Back into the air, ball running free. Railway should be best to mop up. In goes the Northampton player, does well. Be dangerous if Northampton get another goal now in the dying seconds of this first term. And there's the siren. It is quarter time at the football. Grand final 2023. That term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. And the score, Northampton are 3-2-20. Railways are 1 behind. And you're on Radio Mama. We're the home of GNFL football. Today's Trendo Valley Motors Game Day is brought to you by our great afternoon. Great to have you along as Radio Mum of the home of GNFL footy. Keep you up to date with what's happening. Grand Final Day 2023. Glenn Barnett, Peter Forenza and Peter Keefe keeping you across all the action on Brennan O'Malley Motors Game Day. And as you know, Radio Mum we're the home of GNFL footy. And it's quarter time at the massive crowd here at WA Country Builders Stadium. The crowd has been out to hear the respective coaches have their say. Kids getting off the oval now, and we're a few minutes away from the start of the second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Geraldton. But at quarter time, with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton, our goal scorers for Northampton, Josh Kennedy has 2, Flynn Dillon has 1. For his thoughts on the first quarter, some of the better players and contenders for the Geraldton Guardian medal today, Peter Keefe.
Yeah, they're looking ominous, Northampton, in the first quarter. I don't know how they'll go this. Railways had their chances. The ball's very swirly on the northern end of the ground, so it'll be interesting to see if they what they kick this quarter. Best players so far for Northampton: Josh Cripps, Braden Jupp's best on ground at the moment. Josh Kennedy, 4 possessions. Bo Walker, and Jesse Anamidi, and Jordan Williamson. Drew Tunbridge's working hard. Ted Kerr's working hard. And the scoring end seems to be the golf club in, Pete, but we'll see.
The Guardian medal today will be voted on by Fraser William, who is the major sports writer, along with Dale Baines, who of course is a Clune medalist and premiership player with the Towns Footy Club, and also the Radio Mama crew headed up by Mr Football Glenn Barn. To call the action in the second term, it is Mr Football Glenn Barn.
Up they go, and Michael McConnell gets tackled very quickly by Josh Cripps. So Josh Cripps has got the job to do, and Michael McConnell has got to curtail him to some extent. Cripps has the best of it. Ball comes to the ground, goes the way of Tyler Caddy, but Railways do well. They put a good tackle on Tyler. He can't get the ball away. So once again, the ball will be thrown up in the centre. Umpires this afternoon are the umpires Steve Pratt, Paul Luxton and Cohen. Ball goes forward now, goes the way of Railways. Michael Wright puts his body on the line and does very, very well. Michael Wright and his defenders are doing well for Northampton. The Railways defenders are doing pretty well too. And it's a game between the defences at the moment. Although Josh Kennedy has kicked a couple of goals and looked ominous, as has Harry Taylor. Ball goes the way of the Railways player there in Jace Price. Gets the ball up forward, but a free kick's been picked out. Go the way of Michael Wright. Michael Wright off half back. Had a very steady season for the Rams this year. Gets another short pass. Goes the way of Josh Kennedy. Josh Cripps, who takes a good strong mark. Took a bit of penalty. Took a bit of pain as well.
50.
So the player went a bit too hard, and Ben Saunders paying the penalty now. So Josh Cripps, who's under a fair bit of pressure after his big performances in recent games, takes the ball. Cripps plays on now. Breaks across the man on his mark. Kicks from the backward side of the square. Kicks it towards. Almost a good mark to Kennedy. Ball comes to the ground. Picked up by Taylor. Taylor shoots on goal, and it's picked up by the player there in Trent Simpson. And Trent Simpson gets the 4th of the afternoon. It may have been a goal, but Trent Simpson didn't muck around. He made sure of it. And on the scoreboard for Mitchell and Brown in the second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, it is Northampton 4-2-26. Railways are 1 behind.
Pete, to say Northampton's forward line is potent is an understatement.
Well, I just watched as Josh took off with his 50 metres. I had a look up the ground and I saw Harry, Josh and Flynn Dillon, the reigning Clue medalists. So it's a bit scary. And let's spare a thought for Railways, boys. It's going to be hard yakka.
Yeah, back in the middle now. 4-2-26 plays 1 point in the grand final. The last goal scored by Trent Simpson under the tutelage of both Kennedy and Taylor. Back in the middle now. Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. All the grand final action. Also on filming footy. Ball coming out of the middle now. Goes away Braden Jupp. He's been good early to the captain. Sends it out to our broadcast side. He's looking for Bertolo. Shows a clean set of heels to his opposite number there in Priolo. Into the half-forward area. Up goes Dillon. Goes down now to that player. Kingsley Smith. Onto Kennedy. Off Taylor. Onto Kennedy. And another goal to the Rams. Now that was just textbook stuff. As the ball came out of the middle, it came out to Bortolo. He knew what the plan was, didn't he, Pete? And he just went down, straight down the ground.
Well, when you kick long those big fellas. Braden Jupp's dominating the centre as well.
He's been outstanding.
Tells you a little bit about the breeze too. People were wondering what it was like.
Yeah.
but I think we're put paid to that.
Yep.
Blue still blowing across the ground, but it's capable of scoring at either end. And Northampton have been able to get the ball out of the centre, and that's where the game's won. Braden Jupp has been outstanding, and of course Josh Cripps doing the rucking and doing pretty well. But MJ McConnell has done okay.
Yes.
He's breaking his share. He's getting his share. But in goes Cripps, gets a handball out. Northampton player gets it away, but it goes as far as Mitchell Boyle for Railways. Gets it up the ground, looking for some movement. Railways can't pick it up. Northampton can. Through Michael Wright, screws it over the corner, goes the way of Anderson. Anderson shoots on goal. Railways get their first goal at the 4-minute mark of the second term, and Henry Anderson gets Railways scoreboard ticking over, and Railways are 1-1-7. They trail Northampton 5-2-32, and a good goal there from Henry Anderson.
Henry Anderson's been an important player, not only just in the finals campaign, but for Railways right through the year, Pete.
Yep.
And that was just evidence of his ability.
Yeah, he's got a long raking left foot. Just watching the centre bounce downs, MJ McConnell, as you alluded to, Glenn, is sharing the ruck and doing quite well. So he's a big body. He doesn't mind getting it. He's got the tough stickers. He doesn't mind the tough stuff.
He's got to work hard all day, and that's the thing. He'll continue to work hard, there's no doubt about that, but he's got a barrage of ruckmen they can throw at him, of course.
Ball up into the air now. Northampton, will they get it out? Flynn Dillon is working hard, as you'd expect, at the base of the pack. In fact, it's Bo Walker. And Walker, the former coach of Northampton, hasn't played a lot of footy in the last couple of years, but it's been quality footy. As the ball comes out in the middle through Cripps, he's almost tackled without it. He dropped it too, some people believe, and a bit of a pack does develop, and the umpire relieves the pressure. 5-2-32. That is Northampton leading Railways 1-1-7. They've just scored their first goal. That is Railways through the guise of Henry Anderson as they go forward into the half-forward area now. It looks like the player there in Anthony might add to that, and he does with a snap-on goal, and the second of the afternoon to the Blues.
So a good goal there, much needed goal. Railways getting a bit of ball there, and well done to Dion Anthony, and good to see him getting back into the play and making sure he gets a score on the board. So Railways have got 2 goals in as many minutes. Henry Anderson kicked the first, Dion kicked the second, and for Northampton their goal scorer Josh Kennedy has 3, Flynn Dillon has 1, and Trent Simpson has 1.
Ball back in the middle now, and it is turning into an interesting affair here at WA Country Builders Stadium. A big crowd in attendance for the grand final, of course.
Massive crowd.
Yeah, it is a good crowd, and no AFL this weekend, and that probably tells you something too. The ball back in the middle, MJ McConnell going up against the big player in Flynn Dillon on this occasion. Flynn Dillon, of course, taking out the Clune medal on Tuesday night, along with Kim Schofield. The ball out of the middle, comes off Caddy into the half-forward area. Simpson is there, but is thwarted in his attempts by that player in Jace Price. It's knocked into space. The umpire has blown the whistle, though, and the ball will come back. I think a player was dealt with late, so the ball will come down the ground. And the ball is now with Antonio Priolo. Priolo in front of our broadcast position. Kicks it into a group of players. Trying to make the lead is Jace Price. There's a couple to beat. The ball spills free. Going in is Walker. He's moved out of the road. Player dives on top of it in the guise of Scriven. The ball will be thrown up just outside the forward 50 for Railways.
So the ball will be put into the air. So Railways are sparking up. They know that they're playing for their football life today, and everything's on the line. So Railways have got to get into the energy and get some goals on the board to keep in touch with Northampton. 32 plays 13 in favour of the Rams. Both sides had a few years between their last grand final successes. It was 2004 for Northampton, 2011 for Railways. Dion Anthony leads the race to the ball very close to the boundary line, and the umpire says the ball is out of bounds. He's seen a free kick. It'll go the way of Railways, and Railways get the ball forward. They get it up towards half forward, where they find a teammate there in Jace Price. Jace Price, another short pass, finds a teammate.
Scriven.
Declan Scriven plays on, puts it on his left boot, kicks it forward. Umpire says, yes, you're pushed in the back, young man. Jesse Adamini gets the free kick, and Jesse Adamini will shoot on goal. So all of a sudden, Railways, who hadn't scored, have kicked 2 very quick goals. They kick one at the 4-minute mark, one at the 5-minute mark, has an opportunity now at the 8-minute mark. So getting back into the contest, the Railways kicking to the golf club end in this second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack. So Railways, Jesse Adamini. Let's see how he goes. Looks pretty good off the boot. Looks very good indeed. But it fades away. And it's a goal. Jesse Adamini has got his first of the afternoon. Railways have got their third. And on the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard, we've got a contest here for Grand Final 2023. Northampton 5-2, 32. Railways 3-1, 19.
I guess Pete and Glenn, a possible Achilles heel for Northampton would be their back line. It's, we've obviously got a good centre line, we've got good followers, we've got a good forward line. The back line's probably a little bit underdone compared to the other lines.
Yeah, well, possibly, but Jack McQueen was a great player of the country championships, and he's their fullback. So, yeah, but at the moment, the green is running with Railways. The pendulum has swung a little in favour of the Blues. It is 3-1. They trail Northampton 5-2 in the grand final. Heading toward half-time. The ball on the far side is picked up now by that player in Taylor Caddy. Taylor Caddy sends it to the outer side. There coming down is the player there in Kingsley Smith, the veteran. He's keen to get a premiership medallion, that's for sure.
Harry.
I think his dad might have one. Harry sends it into the half-forward area, I should say. Harry doesn't take the mark. Harry Taylor, that is. He puts it over the top, and Simpson, a brave mark as he moves in and marks as he's pushed off the ball. So Trent Simpson will drag him.
Courageous mark.
It was
Very
a courageous mark. He's not much of him. Trent Simpson will now have a shot on goal, and we know he knows how to kick them, Glenn.
So hard to kick from there with this breeze.
I reckon I might back him.
He'll kick it now.
Yeah, what do you reckon? No, I might put the mocker on him, but I reckon he's capable of it. Trent Simpson kicking toward the Wonthella end to stem the tide a little. The kick isn't too bad. It's going to make the distance. Up goes Kennedy over the back, fists it away and through for the minor score.
Northampton are 5 goals, 3, 33. They lead Railways 3-1, 19 on the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard. Second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, as Railways take the ball out through Delaney. They go out towards centre wing. Running hard for the ball is Cody Giltro. Ball goes upfield. Railways, can they get another quick goal? Ball goes the way of Taylor Green for Northampton. Gets it the way of a teammate who gets it further up the field. Ball still on centre wing. Big pack around the ball. Ball comes back in. Northampton do well. Whistle on play. A free kick's been picked out. Goes the way of Railways. And Matthew Kimberley will get the free kick. The hard-working Kimberley gets rewarded. Goes with a short pass and a 50-metre penalty. So a free kick up the ground. So Northampton have lost a little bit of direction in the last few minutes. There's a 50-metre penalty. Someone must have said something. As Kimberley plays on quickly. Gets it forward. McQueen, almost a good mark. Had a bloke over his shoulder, but not over his shoulder enough. And the ball will be thrown up. And the ball will be thrown up about 25 metres out from Railways' attacking zone. 11 minutes gone in this second term. And Railways are back in the contest.
They certainly are. Glenn Barton, Peter Forenza, and special comments from Peter Bucket-Keefe. We've enjoyed Pete's comments right throughout the season. Glad to have him on board here for Radio Mama. The ball coming out of the middle. Going the way of Anthony, but good hands from the Northampton defender. Ensures it doesn't stay in his keeping. The whistle has gone though. Bit of involvement from the crowd. Push and shove. Let's see if the umpire is going to throw it up or award a free kick. Let's see what's going to happen here. I think he's going to ball it up, boys.
No, he's not.
Free kick has gone the way of Scriven.
Too far out for him, I'd suggest.
Declan Scriven. He's been important too for Railways' finals campaign.
He might kick it.
The former Victorian. I suppose you're always a Victorian. He kicks it toward goal and comes off hands and slapped away.
That was pretty ordinary from Railways. There didn't seem to be anyone on the line.
And through for the minor score. He's going to kick it down the outer side now. Here's McQueen. It's straight down the throat of Jace Price. I think it is. He plays on now. In fact, I think it's Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr sends it further afield. Up to a couple of players. Railways are tending to feel a bit more confident now, Pete.
Yeah, getting a bit of confidence. That's right. And that's all you need. And just they need to kick a goal somewhere here to keep in touch.
Northampton are being pretty physical. They're getting hammered for that at the moment. So they need to ease back a little. The ball comes forward. Goes the way of a Northampton player with the ball now, and Jack Cripps. Jack Cripps on half back, kicks it up towards centre wing and picks out a teammate. That player is Josh Cripps. Josh Cripps just in front of the scoreboard. Bit overcast, pretty dull at the moment. The weather, the skyline, there's a few clouds as Northampton go forward again. Northampton get the kick forward and looking up there for Josh Kennedy, but the ball goes out of bounds. There'll be a boundary throw-in. 13 minutes gone in quarter number 2, grand final 2023, and Northampton 5-3-33 to Railways 3-2-20. So in this quarter, Northampton have added 2 goals, 1, and Railways have added 3 goals, 1. So Railways in front at this stage for this term.
Okay, it is a 13-point ball game in favour of the Rams as the ball goes forward again now for the Golden Greens, but on this occasion the balance isn't kind for them. Goes into space, but a free kick has been found. It'll go the way of Northampton, although there's a bit of a confusion. I think the ball went back to the Northampton player who's caught in possession.
He handballed it on and sold him into trouble.
Yeah, there's a bit of confusion there of what the decision was, I believe, but the ball will now go back to Saunders. So Saunders now.
Railways are fighting, aren't they, Pete? They're fighting overtime.
They certainly are, and that's the way to win a final. That certainly is. You play right to the bell. Saunders goes to the outer side now. Players setting themselves over the back is Caddy or is Eddie. Can't take the mark. Goes toward the boundary. Under the scoreboard, which sees Northampton with a reasonable lead in this context of this particular match. Ball, I think, is with Adamini once again on the far side. Jesse Adamini. And he comes under the scoreboard. It's not a good kick, but he's looking, I think, for Anthony. They play a lot to each other, both those players. Successful at times. The ball goes to ground and is bottled up somewhat.
I guess, Peter, being the underdog, because I haven't heard one person this ground that thinks Railways can win today. So being the underdog's a great thing. You come into the game, there's no expectation, you know.
Yes, the ball to be thrown up, and it is. Goes the way of Northampton. They slap it to ground, and ball is still very, very tight in there. And the umpire will have no option but throw the ball up again. Umpires this afternoon, Luxton, Cohen and Pratt, all three very experienced umpires, and they've got a lot to worry about today because there's a fair bit on the line for both clubs as they fight for a grand final win. Bounce favours Railways, and Railways clean up through the player there in Delaney, gets it out, eventually it comes back, and the Railways player is caught in possession.
Kennedy came right down the ground.
And the umpire didn't pull her up.
Didn't reward him.
Ball comes forward, goes away at Northampton, and a Northampton player this time gets a free kick, and it'll go the way of Simpson. So Simpson has the ball on half-back. So Northampton trying to get some action up the field. There goes the kick from Trent Simpson. Big kick, and it goes the way of Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor has marked on centre wing, outer side.
Harry Taylor, important in this game. His kicking has not been the best in recent weeks. So Harry Taylor, almost at centre wing on the Floors Road side. A big crowd on that side of the ground today, which is good to see. Goes further afield and finds Flynn Dillon, the JJ Clune medalist. Dual medalist on Tuesday night. 31 votes. He kicks it into the pocket. Kennedy runs out toward the ball. The ball actually finds the player there for
Elliot Delaney
for Railways. He plays on now down the ground. There's Simpson again. Will-o'-the-wisp. He picks it up. Is almost tackled in possession. He gets rid of it though. Railways probably do the better as they take it back toward the boundary. So things starting to get a little bit tight in the GNFL Grand Final.
Yeah, it looks a little bit weather bound down south. We might get a little bit of a shower before the afternoon is out. Grand Final day 2023. They might have to turn the lights on in the last quarter because we started a little bit later than normal. Ball comes back into play. Goes the way of Northampton. That Northampton player is tackled in Josh Cripps. Didn't have the ball. The umpire said yes he did. And the umpire will throw the ball up. So the ball will be thrown up on half forward. So yes, Railways not letting Northampton have it as they would like. Lots and lots of pressure on the ball carrier. And they've tied the game up and they're working their way back into the contest. So Railways, Northampton desperate to get another score on the board in this quarter to keep that margin a healthy one. Ball goes out of bounds on the full. This time Railways will relieve the pressure and Railways defence have the ball. And it'll go the way of Tunbridge. Short pass finds Matt Kimberley. Matt Kimberley comes across the ground and looks for a teammate. Finds that player in Kerr. Ted Kerr kicks the ball straight up the ground. Looking there for a teammate. It wasn't Kerr because it was headed for Kerr. Goes the way of McQueen. That'd have to be
That's 50.
That'd be a 50-metre. Play-on's the call. Goes the way of Kingsley Smith. Kingsley Smith goes the way of Simpson. Ball running free. Goes the way now. Picked up by Murrumbine. Murrumbine back towards Simpson. Simpson's on fire this afternoon. Kicks it forward. looking up there for a teammate. Picked up by Flynn Dillon. Flynn Dillon shoots on goal. Flynn Dillon is offline, and another score on the board for Northampton. And on the scoreboard for Mitchell and Brown, Northampton are 5-4-34. They lead Railways 3-2-20.
Trent Smith playing out of his skin at the moment in the half-forward area. Thinks all of his Christmases have come at once, playing in a game with Josh Kennedy and also Harry Taylor. The ball coming out of defence now with Jace Price. Unlucky for Flynn Dillon. Lucky for Northampton, that wasn't a goal. And down the ground to Williamson. Williamson just in front of the big crowd here this afternoon.
Not much to kick though.
No, there isn't. As he kicks down the ground, Peter Bucket keeps special comments this afternoon. Up they go, and a beautiful mark by McQueen. That was a lovely mark taken by the backman.
Good footballer, Sky.
Yeah. Jack McQueen sends it inboard now. He's looking for a bit of support in there. There's a host of Railways players, but Northampton may do the better as Kennedy comes down the ground. The big fella puts it onto his boot, puts it into space. He finds the player there who did well on this occasion in Smith. Smith sends it forward, and he finds the player there in Cripps. So Jack Cripps will now shoot on goal. But gee, Kennedy, the big man, what he does is just incredible.
Here's a gun.
Yes, of course, he's played lots and lots of senior footy, and he worked hard, and now it's an opportunity for Jack Cripps to shoot on goal.
That's what it is, it's work rate.
Yeah,
it really stands out.
So Jack Cripps is 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle, kicking to the Wonthella end as the sky gets cloudier here at Wonthella, and this will get Northampton back in control of the game. Not that they've ever lost control, but there goes the kick from Jack Cripps. He says that's how you kick a goal, gents. And a very good goal there for Northampton. Jack Cripps gets his first of the afternoon.
Important goal, isn't it, Glenn? It gives them breathing space.
It does. They're back where they started, so they've had a little bit of pressure there for a little while. They've still got pressure, but it relieves the pressure.
I think Kennedy's figured in every goal. He's either kicked it or he's been a part of the lead-up.
On the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard, Northampton are 6-4-40 and Railways are 3-2-20. There's a 90-point margin in favour of Northampton at quarter time, and as we head towards half time, it's a 20-point margin, so
status quo.
Nothing much has changed, although Railways have got 3 very important goals on the board, which is also very important.
Yeah, ball back in the middle now. The last goal scored by Jack Cripps.
What's happening here? Something's happening. Blood roll.
He's looking the 6-6-6, I think, is he?
Blood roll up here.
Oh yeah, Trent Simpson. He's been knocked around a bit, so it's not surprising.
He's thrown himself in.
Yeah, so Trent Simpson coming to the boundary. He'll get a bit of a Bronx cheer, no doubt, from the crowd in front of us.
I reckon the gingers bleed a bit, Pete. Did you know that? Oh, he's got to come through the...
He's come through all right. So the ball coming back to the middle now. Trent Simpson has come off to be tended to.
He's got a cut on his hand.
Yeah, the ball back in the middle. Latter stages of the first half now, as we see Cripps go up into the ruck. He wins it on this occasion, goes to ground. At the base of the pack are a couple of players, including that player in green, that player I should say in Kingsley Smith. He never gives up. The umpire says we'll throw it up once again. Cripps getting a bit of attention, as you'd expect. Up into the end, no one can get mitts to it, goes to ground. The ball spills free. It looks like it may be a free kick that is going the way of Tyler Caddy. So Tyler Caddy, backwards of the centre square, sends it into space. Didn't look the best at kicks, but they have the run of the green to Northampton now. Goes away to Taylor. Taylor in turn knocks it forward to a teammate, is quickly brought to ground. The ball spills free, and there's a bit of push and shove. And it's on here at the grand final. Both sides asserting their authority. And it looks like a free kick maybe going to Northampton, but I'm not quite sure on that one. Play dealt with late. So let's see what happens here. So
get on the goal line, Josh.
The ball coming back now to Northampton.
50 metres.
50 metres. That'll take Jaden Paletti right into the goal square. So Jaden Paletti now will come to point blank range. There's a seagull circle. Who are they circling for?
That's a killer. Absolute killer.
An important goal for Northampton toward half time. Northampton go to 7 goals for 46, and they lead Railways 3-20.
So who kicked that one?
That was Paletti.
Liam.
Yep. So Liam Paletti. Oh, Jaden Paletti, sorry. Jaden Paletti.
Jaden Paletti, is it? Sorry.
Yep.
Liam played Colts.
Liam to his cousin.
Lamb chop.
Friends. Yeah. So Jaden Paletti scoring a goal that Railways wouldn't want to see on the score.
Well, I think JR would be very happy whoever gave away that 50-metre penalty. They put the pressure on them this quarter, and that just relieves the pressure. You just don't need to do that.
Absolutely.
Ball back in the middle now, and it's 7-4 plays 3-2, as I've just mentioned. So we head to the big break here in the grand final. You're going to see a bit of a sprint happening at half-time. Looking forward to that.
Are you going in it this year, Pete?
Oh, always, Glenn.
Pete, we'll have a go.
Yeah, we'll offer pretty good handicap, Pete. The ball going forward now for Anthony out of the middle. Jets a nice chip pass, I should say. He finds a teammate in Corey Clark, and he blazes away as Anthony accepts it back and puts it through for the minor score. That would have been a good return for what was a bad mistake earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, you need to make every post a winner when you're playing in a final. And so far, Northampton are doing okay in that regard. Ball comes back in. Railway's effort has been great to half-time, but Northampton still hold a handy margin on the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard.
Those 50 metres, Glenn, aren't they coach killers? Those things.
Well, we saw the same happen to Brigades last week as well. So very important that you be disciplined, although it's hard sometimes to hold your tongue.
Good mark.
And a great mark. So Railways get one back. And a good mark. Jesse Adamini, who's been outstanding in this quarter. So Jesse Adamini's kicked one, and he can add to that tally and narrow the margin.
Third, or technically second, in the Clune medal on Tuesday night, Jesse Adamini.
Yeah, and he missed about 6 games too with a hamstring, so he was probably disappointing because of that. There goes Adamini's kick. He gets his second of the afternoon. Yes, he does. And on the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard, this second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL footy. And it is Northampton 7-4-46. They lead Railways 4-3-27. So we're back to a 19-point margin here, the same as it was at quarter time as we head towards half time in Grand Final 2023.
It's a bit like the shackles are being held on still, Pete.
Just hang them. Yeah, they're just hanging.
Can break them.
A goal quickly here would be good for them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. That is Railways, I think you're talking about. 7-4-46. That is Northampton leading Railways 4-3-27. Joshy Cripps wins another tap away into space, but the space isn't used by Northampton as they goes to ground. Tyler Caddy has been working hard in the middle this afternoon, and he's been getting a lot of the ball. Up it goes now over the back of the pack. Let's see who can get it. Goes away now of
Free kick.
Jamie Williams didn't have the ball.
Jamie Williams didn't have the ball, as Glenn indicated. Jamie Williams plays into the half-forward area, coming down to take a nice strong mark. There's a player there in Walker. Walker now sees space. That space sees a lead come into it from Cripps. Cripps can't take the mark. The ball spills free. Goes away of Kennedy. He sees the goal. He gives it away unselfishly to Cripps, who puts it onto his boot and sends it sky into the air, across the face of goal and out on the other side of the ground.
I don't think he quite meant to get that one to go there, Glenn.
No, Railways were very lucky because it looked like it was building to a pretty good scoreline there.
Josh won't do that again.
But Jack is usually pretty good around goals. On that occasion, it hit the wrong side of his boot and went right off target. So ball come back into play. Time running out in this second term for both clubs. Can't be much time left as the ball is on that outer side. The area favoured by the breeze, which is blowing directly across the ground. And once again, the boundary umpire will come in and throw the ball in just in front of the Country Builders sign here at Wonthella. So 27 minutes gone in this second term. And there we have it. We knew time had run out, and it has. It's half-time at the football, and Northampton at half-time take a handy lead, but not a convincing lead. They still haven't got this game in the bag, as you would realise, because at half-time, Northampton are 7-4-46. They lead Railways 4-3-27, and you're tuned to Radio Mama, and we're the home of GNFL football. Geraldton. Alara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. For Northampton, Josh Kennedy has kicked 3. Singles to Flynn Dillon, Trent Simpson, Jack Cripps and Jaden Paletti. For Railways, Jesse Adamini has kicked 2. Singles to Henry Anderson and Dion Anthony. For his thoughts on the first half and what may happen in the second, Peter Keefe.
Railways have been brave, Glenn. I've got a feeling that Northampton in this quarter will break the game open. It's got that feeling about it. The big forwards, Railways going to have to work absolutely overtime. You don't want to give them another 3 or 4 goals. Railways gave all 50 away, which is blue murder on a day like today. But Railways been brave and they're hanging in there. MJ McConnell's been good in the ruck. Jesse Adamini's been very good. Best for Northampton, Braden Jupp, Bo Walker, Harry Taylor, Josh Kennedy, Josh Cripps.
Okay, ball back in the centre, about to get this third quarter underway. They call it the Premiership quarter. It is the Drennan O'Malley Maters quarter on Radio Mama each week. And umpire now holds the ball aloft. Umpires this afternoon. Umpires Pratt, Luxton and Cohen. And away we go in this third term. NJ McConnell gets the best of it, but the ball goes forward to Northampton. For Railways, I should say. Railways have the ball now. And the Railways players quickly get the ball up into the forward 50. And umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Opening minute of this third term. Umpire puts the ball in the air. And McConnell and Cripps do battle. Whistle goes. Cripps will get the free kick. He was held while not in possession. So Josh Cripps puts it on his left boot. Goes along centre wing.
Oh, nice
looking
mark
there for a teammate. But Railways step in the road. And Jamie Huggins, who played a good part in slowing Cripps down in that first half, gets the ball forward. Huggins kicks it back towards Cripps. And Cripps has come to play in this third term.
A bit like tennis at the moment. Rafa to Federer as it goes back to Cripps. Cripps on the far side, sends it to whence it came. Up go a few players. No one could take the mark. At the back of the pack, a couple of players try to get their mitts on it, but the ball spills free. At the bottom of the pack are a couple of players, including Jamie Williams, and he works hard, does Williams, as he bottles the ball up. And the umpire goes over to relieve the pressure. A lot of the game being played on the far side of WA Country Builders Stadium. Of course, the breeze is favouring that side of the ground as it blows over in that direction. The clouds are amassing here at WA Country Builders Stadium. Will we have rain before the end of play? Only time will tell.
It looks less likely now than it did earlier, Peter.
It does.
Like it's past.
Like the clouds are blowing over, haven't they, Glenn? The ball comes out of the pack, off a boot, or does it? Saunders goes in to try and do some work. He too has curtailed in his efforts. Going to ground is the player there in Jaden Paletti. He too is unsuccessful, and the ball motors forward in almost a rugby-type scrum situation, Pete.
Well, this is the stuff Railways need to do this quarter. They need to do every little thing to keep the ball contested, hard contested ball, keep the ball in tight. Don't let it get out and open too much.
Ball goes up, ball comes to the ground. Railways go in through Adamini. Whistle on play. A free kick's been picked out. It'll go the way of player there in Bartolo. He gets the ball forward.
Oh, nice mark.
Good mark by Harry Taylor. Harry 60 metres from goal.
Easy.
Gets the ball up quickly. Looking there for the player in Kennedy, but Williamson does well. Geordie Williamson does well. Gets the handball back from Matt Kimberley. Kicks the ball out towards the clubroom side. Callum Teagle leads the race for the ball. He's under pressure there from the Railways player, but Callum Teagle does very well indeed. Gets the ball forward. Trent Simpson thought he should have got a free kick. The umpire said he shouldn't. Ball goes the way there of Kimberley. Kimberley gives it away. Goes the way of the Northampton player who kicks the ball forward, and Jared Woodcock. The ball is rebounded. Jamie Huggins has it on half back for the Blues. Kicks it forward, looking for Jace Price. Under him, or chasing him, is Taylor Green. In goes Price again. He does the best on that occasion. Price kicks it high. Goes the way, and almost football. A good mark taken by Cripps, but the ball spills. Goes the way of Adamini. He feeds it out to Anthony, and Anthony shoots on goal. And Anthony is missed from 25 metres. And on the scoreboard for Active West Real Estate, Railways needed that one. Railways are 4-4-28. They trail Northampton 7-4-46.
Adamini and Anthony, a bit of a twosome. On that occasion, weren't successful. As
Tyler Caddy claimed the mark. The umpire not having that one.
The ball coming back the way of Anthony now, trying to undo what he undone earlier on. The ball going backward now. Northampton sent it to the outer side. Just below the scoreboard, it's picked up by the gold and yellow, or is it the blue and white? Looks blue and white on this occasion as the ball goes forward now. Through Elliot Delaney to the outer side. Ball coming in now with the Blues. Cut off in the last line of defence by Northampton. Go to the outer side again to the Rams as they try and get a couple of kicks together. Trent Simpson playing all over the ground, takes the mark almost at centre wing. He'll bring it inside. And a nice big kick into the half-forward area.
Pass.
Over the top of the pack. It's picked up by Northampton, who sends it forward, but Ruben Ulrich takes a timely mark in defence and kicks it back out to the outer side and finds Kimberley.
Yeah, Northampton looked dangerous there, but they overused the ball, and Ruben Ulrich stood up and took a great, courageous, solid mark and turned things around. So the ball's back on centre wing on the outer side. 4.5 minutes gone in the Premiership quarter. And this quarter, with thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. Grand final day 2023. Glenn Barnden, Peter Firenza and Peter Keefe keeping you across all the action of what has been a very entertaining day of football. Very good crowd here at Wonthella, and no one's left yet because the game's still up for grabs. The 2023 Premiership still anybody's. At this stage, Northampton still hold a handy lead, but it's only 18 points the margin. So, still a chance.
Glenn, credit to the Railways backline. They're undersized by a long way. Elliot Delaney, Drew Tunbridge, Jordan Williamson, they're working overtime and they're doing all right.
They're doing really well.
The ball
comes back into play, just in front of the scoreboard, and the umpire giving them plenty of time to get the ball out. But as you said, Peter, Railways are doing all they can, but they've got to get a score on the board as well, don't they? They've got to hold things down.
That's right.
They can't open the gate and let the ball flow, but they've got to be able to score themselves, and they still trail by 3 goals, as they've had for the majority of the day. So the ball will be thrown up again. Umpire Luxton in his 100th game this afternoon, so congratulations to Paul Luxton. Ball comes the way of Braden Jupp, who's caught in possession, and the free kick will go the way of Railways, and the Railways player who's done very well on this occasion is Declan Scriven.
He's done all right this season as Scriven for the Blues. They're acquired by the recreation ground mob this year and has paid them back in spades, you could say, as the ball comes over the back. Now goes away with Saunders. He sends it inboard, and in turn Jace Price is able to knock in front of Adamini, but Adamini is quickly set upon, brought to ground, caught in possession. The crowd calls for. The ball spills free. Adamini works well to get it again, but no one can get prior opportunity as there's a bit of a push and shove now on the far side of WA Country Builders Stadium. Things are starting to hot up somewhat, and a few players are getting a little bit nasty to each other over there. But
Antonio Perello, karate black belt, he'd be handy in that sort of situation.
A free kick going the way of Railways. They send it inboard. A nice mark. A beautiful, strong, courageous mark. Taken in defence by the Northampton player there in Wright, I think it is. Yes, he stepped back into play, and it was a beautiful, courageous mark. So Wright will send it back over to the Floors Road side. It's contest after contest this afternoon. And contested football is always good to see, but we're not used to it usually. It's usually a possession-type game, but this afternoon they are kicking to a contest, and the crowd is enjoying it. The ball about to be thrown in now from the Floors Road side. Cripps, he does well as he pushed off the ball, was able to knock it down. Coming out of the middle was Caddy. Gets it to a teammate who quickly puts it onto his boot into the half-forward area, just backward of the centre square. Going to ground, it's picked up by Walker. Walker in turn gets it to a player, or at 6s and 7s, he's brought to Brown, caught in possession, and a free kick will go the way of Williamson.
So, Jordan Williamson, who's been good this afternoon, works hard. That's all you ask. The ball gets up towards half forward where he finds Dion Anthony right on the boundary line. Anthony centres the ball now, finds Henry Anderson. So Railways trying to get the ball into their attacking zone. Henry Anderson puts it on his left boot now. Shocking kick, drops short, comes the way of Jack McQuee. Jack McQuee, the full-back for the Great Northern in 2023. Ball comes back to Railways. Northampton have an opportunity now through Trent Simpson. He sockers it forward, but Ted Kerr's there. Railways have an opportunity. Ball comes back towards Walker. Walker gets a handball forward to go backwards. Goes the way of Cripps. Ball held to him. Umpire says he was held while not in possession. So Josh Cripps gets a free kick.
Railways, this is a quarter Railways. They're doing the contested hard stuff, and that's what they've got to do. There's a lot of ball ups. There's not a lot of open play. Northampton need the ball out in the open.
Well, John Reynolds, joining Sportshed Saturday earlier this morning, said that pressure was what he wanted his players to use. They used it last week. He wanted to continue where they left off.
Contested ball all day.
The ball off the half-back line is with Railways. They come across the ground, almost intercepted by the player there. He did pretty well on that occasion. Braden Jupp, he spins around inside the corridor. Kennedy goes up. Over the back is Kingsley Smith. He's unable to collect it. The ball spills free. Players diving on top of it. It'll be a timely pick up for Northampton here, but Railways do the better as they get out of defence now. Jace Price trying to run onto it, or does he? It is Northampton who collect it again. Will they send it back through Tyler Cowdy? He goes to ground. He can't get hold of the piece of leather as the ball goes to ground again. Players diving on top of each other. A bit of a pack develops, but the umpire lets it go on as the ball goes away. Williamson back to Flynn Dillon into the half-forward area looking for Taylor. It's a one-on-one. Goes to ground, and it looks like a player up from Northampton has dived on top of the ball, but he's caught when he does so, and the umpire says no prior opportunity, and the ball will be thrown up just in the shadows of the goals for Northampton.
Yeah, you can't knock Railways for their endeavour and intensity on the ball. They're doing great on that regard. Ball goes the way of Paletti. He's taken to the ground. Umpire said he had no prior opportunity. 10 minutes gone in this third quarter. And in this term, we've seen Northampton not add to their score, and Railways have added a point. So it's a very, very tight contest.
They're just not getting the clean open looks, are they, Northampton, at the moment?
No, it's like playing footy in Northampton at the moment, and it's a big oval, but Railways have been able to block it up and do it really well. Northampton, they're having a bit of the possession, but they haven't been able to get the run on the board and the run on the scoreboard. Ball goes out of bounds just in front of the Active West Real Estate scoreboard. Northampton 7-4-46. Railways a 4-4-28. So as I mentioned, Railways only have added 1 point in this first 11 minutes of this third term. Northampton haven't troubled the scorer at all. Ball comes forward now from Northampton as Tyler Caddy kicks it up forward.
Racking up kicks.
But it comes the way of the player there in Elliot Delaney.
He's playing well.
Delaney breaks out of the back line. Gets a handball forward. Gives it away. And a good tackle put on by the Northampton player. The umpire's not making a decision there. And the crowd asks why. The umpire said because he didn't have an opportunity.
Trent Simpson playing the old traditional rover today, Glenn. He's everywhere.
He's played really well. He's been outstanding. He's trying to get his side moving. Ball comes forward now. Goes the way of the player there in Murrumbine. Whistle on play. A free kick's been picked out. This time it's going to go to Northampton. So Luxor Fortune. Player with the ball. Goes back. Big kick. Jamie Williams kicks it up towards full forward. Looking up there for the big man. Ball running free. Trent Simpson can't put a handle on it. Pack develops. Ball scrums out of the pack. Railways have an opportunity now through Matt Kimberley. Matt Kimberley soccers it in front of him. Well, Josh Cripps pushes him out of the road.
Football.
Then he puts it on his left.
Nice kick.
Kicks it back towards full forward. Up they go.
Walker.
And Henry, a good bit of play there from Josh Cripps. And Flynn Dillon running with the flight of the ball says this is how it's done, men.
Thought all these Christmases are coming
In
one
fact,
side
it's
by
Bo
Walker.
Walker. Bo Walker it is.
That was brilliant football from a big 6'4", 5'6".
Yeah,
guy.
just pushed.
He knew exactly
Kimberley
what
on
to
the
do,
side.
didn't he? He knew
Yeah.
exactly what to do.
So here it is, Bo Walker. Can he get another goal on the board for Northampton? Bo hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon.
He does.
But he has done now. So Bo Walker gets the first goal of the third term, the premiership quarter, and on the scoreboard for Active West Real Estate. It is Northampton 8-4-52. They lead Railways 4-4-28. So we've got a 4-goal game here in our grand final for 2023.
The last time these two teams met was back in 1970, Glenn. I was 2 years of age, and Mum and Dad were moving into their home in Spalding.
Wow.
So that's a long time ago.
That's a very good bit of history there. Thank you for telling us.
And Drennan O'Malley Motors was still operating. I don't know if they were in Chapman Road, but they were still operating. And this quarter brought to you by Drennan O'Malley Motors.
Yeah, so two clubs have met 4 times previously in grand finals, but most recently, as you said, was back in the 1970s. So very interesting indeed. And we thank Victor Tanti for furnishing us with all these statistics today. And Victor does a wonderful job in keeping the statistics of the GNFL and the GNFL umpires up to date.
The ball going the way now of Railways through. It's been a little bit quiet since the first term. I'm talking about Boyle. Blue medalist sends it into space. Can they get a shot on goal? Gee, that was pretty quick by Railways. Could have been a quick return by the Blues, but unfortunately goes the wrong side of the sticks and through for the minus score. Coming out of defence, Jack McQueen, as I said, talked to his mum during the week. Been pretty proud of him this year, Glenn.
Oh, she would. He's picked in the All-Stars for the Great Northern Footy League in 2023, the Radio Mama All-Stars. Flynn Dillon, he's back off the plane and he's starting to get a few kicks now. So a kick is a poor one. Picked out Jesse Adamini.
Yep.
And Jesse Adamini takes the mark and went to play on. Umpire said,
No.
and now a 50-metre penalty.
Cripsy.
And Kyle Cripps gave it away. And Kyle Cripps gives away a 50-metre penalty. And that's a stupid thing to do. And we know Carl's prone to do that every now and then. So the ball goes up the field. So a kick that would have been 55 metres from goal is now 10 metres from goal. So Jesse Adamini will get another goal on the board. It'll be his third of the afternoon. There goes the kick from Jesse, straight through the centre. That's his third. And on the scoreboard for Mitchell and Brown, it is a very interesting scoreline now. It is Northampton 8-4-52 and Railways a 5-5-35. And there's a bit of pushing and a bit of shoving. And don't know what's going on there. You keep an eye on what's going on. The umpire, has he picked out another free kick?
You've got to be careful because they can give another free kick
before it goes back to the centre, yes. So
no, there is another shot at goal.
Yeah,
looks like another shot at goal. Jeez, that's
throw up, is it?
Throw up. That just well.
No.
Free kick. This is ridiculous. To see this in the grand finals, absolutely ridiculous.
You've got to keep your head back, Peter.
Yes.
So the ball is with Dion Anthony. So 2 goals in 1 minute. So Dion Anthony's kicked 1 this afternoon. So Dion Anthony can narrow the margin to 2 goals or under 2 goals. There goes the kick. Looks pretty good from Dion. He gets his second of the afternoon. And on the scoreboard for Active West Real Estate, Brigades aren't in the fold. Railways and Northampton are. And it looks like Railways are back in the contest because Northampton 8-4-52, Brigade 6-5-41. So we saw a 50-metre penalty. The ball didn't return to the centre, and a free kick was picked out to Dion Anthony after a bit of push and shove. And the umpires have come to play a part in this contest this afternoon.
And
that's what you don't want to see. You don't want the umpires determining what's going to happen in a game, and at the moment they have played a big part to where it is at the moment.
Yeah, but Pete, you've still got to control yourself. They gave 50, and we could see it from the sideline. You've got to control yourself.
They're all in that passage of play. They're all in it.
So the ball is back in the centre. Umpire Cohen to put the ball into the air. 16 and a half minutes gone, and we've got a very, very close contest here. 11 points the margin. Closest has been all day pretty well, since the early start anyway. Ball goes the way of Jamie Huggins. Gets it out towards a teammate there, Mitchell Boyle. Back to Huggins. Huggins draws a handball. Goes the way of Adamini. Adamini goes through the pack. Kicks it in towards the centre. Looking there for a teammate. Finds the big fella in Letessia. Letessia goes backwards. Finds Kimberley. Kimberley kicks it forward. Looking for Huggins. Railway's getting a lot of the ball now. Mitchell Boyle by hand. Goes to Ben Saunders. Saunders takes the bounce. Second ball comes back to Royce Saunders. He kicks the ball very low. Looking there for Anthony. Anthony's there. Has he caught in possession? The umpire said he didn't have prior opportunity. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Premiership quarter, this is where games are won and lost in the Dreadon O'Malley Motors quarter. 17 minutes gone in quarter number 3, grand final 2023.
The sun-drenched WA Country Builders Stadium as Railways get it out into space. Gee, the ball spills free in front of goals. A goal here will be timely for Railways. Let's see what the umpire says. They wait as the ball goes through over the line.
I think Northampton kicked it.
But it came off the Northampton boot, and Jack McQueen is going to relieve the pressure. They need to steady the ship, do the Rams, as the ball goes to the outer side. Up they go. A nice mark almost taken by Letessia. He's been paid that. The ball comes across now, but it's picked up by Cripps. Now, Cripps needs to settle himself because he is a quality player. But he doesn't want to let his side down. So
has been Railways quarter, isn't it, Peter?
Yes, down the middle. He goes. Cripps into space. Over the back of the pack, it's picked up by Williamson, starting to mop up. Williamson kicks to the Fours Road side of the ground into space. Coming down is Wright. Wright is curtailed in his efforts. It's picked up now by Huggins or Anthony. They move it inboard. Ball goes away of that player once again in Scriven. Scriven kicks into the pack, goes back the way of Huggins. He's at 6s and 7s as he tries to find a bit of movement forward, but the ball going back now for Northampton, and a nice mark is taken further afield, and it looks like there's a big player in Dillon. Flynn Dillon sends it out. In fact, it's Woodcock, sends it to the outer side below the scoreboard. No one can take the mark. The ball spills free. One would think Northampton need to get another score on the board because the game is flowing the way of Railways at the moment. The pendulum is swinging in favour of the Blue and Whites as a free kick has been found, and it will go the way of Railways. Railways come across now to the player there in Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr into space. He finds this player in Anderson. Anderson in front of our broadcast position. Does a nice kick into the half-forward area. Adamini's there, or is he? In fact, it's the youngster who goes over the top of the pack, and it goes over. Anderson kicks over the top of the player there, and that player kicked over the top of was Cody Giltro, and the ball bounces through, and a goal is scored for Railways.
Yes, the game is on now. Game is very much on, and Railways have kicked the last 3 and got back into this contest well and truly as we head towards time on in this third term. And the score hasn't been this close since very much the start of the game, and it is Northampton 8-4-52 and Railways are 7-5-47, and Railways are back in the grand final.
Peter and Glenn, the Railways are fit, aren't they? So they're going to fight it out.
They are.
They've controlled the quarter. Hasn't been a lot of open football. It's been tight, hard, contested stuff. Northampton haven't had a lot of open flow this quarter.
No, they've been curtailed in their efforts, that's for sure. Peter Bucket keep bringing us the special comments here this afternoon and right throughout the season. Back in the middle now. What can they do to retaliate as Flynn Dillon goes up into the ruck, and through comes Walker. But his kick forward is caught by Boyle. Boyle sends it forward again, but into space it goes. Braden Jupp, the captain for Northampton, collects it in the half-forward area. He is indecisive in where he wants to put it. Caleb Taddy comes in. They've just been really bamboozled at the moment at Northampton, and Railways are doing the job both physically and mentally. The ball out of the pack goes away now. Walker into the half-forward area, and Jace Price takes a nice strong mark in defence. In fact, it's the player there, Elliot Delaney.
He's been good, hasn't he?
He's been very good. Gets in the way of Anthony. Dion Anthony on half-back. Goes out wide. Finds Jamie Huggins. Railways can go into three-quarter time in front as they go forward now. Get it up towards Jesse Adamini. Adamini under good pressure there. Ball comes out to Northampton's Taylor Green. He feeds the handball out with the ball running free. Railways in the box seat now as the ball goes the way of Northampton. They eventually get it out. Railways' pressure has been outstanding in this term.
They're a bit rattled.
They're very rattled. I think they just thought they'd turn up and continue to lead all day. But Railways have worked hard. And as you say, Peter, their system is very much what they go by. And they'll run the season out. They'll run the game out. Ball comes back into play. Comes back up towards Railways. And big fella Ryan Latessi is there. Kicks it deep into towards the pocket. Ball running free. And the Northampton player keen to see the ball across the ground there, and the boundary line is Kai McPhee. So 22 minutes gone in the Premiership quarter for Drennan O'Malley Motors, and we've got a very, very interesting 5-point ball game in favour of the Rams.
In it comes now, and the defence now for the Rams, but the free kick has been found to go the way of Cripps. He's worked hard.
Has worked
hard under a bit of duress this afternoon. He kicks to the outer side, finds Michael Wright. Right below the big lights here at Wonthella this afternoon. Kicks further afield. And there he is again. Latassia takes a nice mark. He sends it inboard. He finds a player there equal to the task, and that player is Henry Anderson. He's got a bit of the ball this afternoon as Anderson, as he has throughout the season. Goes back across the ground. Finds a player there who sends it down the wing. So they're chip passing around and keeping possession.
Yep.
Railways. The ball's with Huggins now. Huggins. Looking into the sun, one would think. He sends it inboard. A nice mark is taken by Saunders. So Saunders in his 151st game will now have a shot on goal, but I think he's looking into the sun, so he'll try and go short here, and he does. Unattended. The mark is taken, and that person now have a shot on goal. I think it's Jace Price, is it? It's got the ball.
Yeah, it looks like it,
Yeah, Jace Price. So James Price will now have a shot on goal.
Can put them in front if he kicks this
Yeah,
one.
this will be a very costly goal.
Well, Railways have kicked 3 goals, 2 in this quarter.
In comes Jace Price. It looks good off the boot. It's going to drop short. It's caught in the breeze. Up they go. And it's fisted away quite conveniently in the end by big Josh Cripps. And at three-quarter time, we have a ball game on our hands in the GNFL Grand Final. At three-quarter time, it is Northampton who have the slender lead of 52 over 47. And you're listening to the home of GNFL football. This is Radio Mama.
Today's tournament.
Time of the football, and we've got a contest as you'd expect. Grand Final Day 2023 on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL footy. Glenn Barton, Peter Forenza and Peter Keefe keeping you across what is happening. And at three-quarter time, it is Northampton 8-4-52 to Railway 7-5-47. Our three-quarter time summary with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. Northampton have led pretty well throughout. Northampton led by 19 points at quarter time, 19 points at half time. They now lead by 5 points. Goal scorers, with thanks to Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton and the City of Greater Geraldton. Josh Kennedy has 3. Singles to Flynn Dillon, Trent Simpson, Jack Cripps, Jaden Paletti and Bo Walker. For Railways, Jesse Adamini has 3. Dion Anthony has 2. Henry Anderson has 1. Henry Anderson has 2 for his thoughts on what happened in the first 3 quarters and what may happen in the last. Peter Keefe.
Well, it looks to be one of the great grand finals, boys, doesn't it? Like Railways came to play that quarter, contested ball, hard at the ball carrier, kept the ball in tight, didn't give Northampton an opportunity to play open football, so Josh and Harry didn't have a lot of impact. Railways are certainly fit enough, and that was the scoring end, but the 250s, Pete and Glenn, have cost Northampton dearly, and it could cost them the game.
Yeah, they're more than just 50 metres, aren't they? They certainly have a mental effect on the players. As we get ready now for the final term, This is the decider, who will be premiers for season 2023. To call all the action, Mr. Football, Glenn Barndon.
Yes, Railways in that quarter set themselves up with a 3-goal 2 quarter. Northampton kicked only 1 goal. Ball back in the centre. The 100-game man, umpire Luxton, puts the ball into the air. Jesse Adamini's there fighting hard, been very, very good this afternoon.
It's been brilliant.
And so too is his counterpart there in Braden Jupp. But who will run this game out? We know Railways have got good fitness, good system. Josh Cripps slaps the ball down, picked up by Jamie Huggins. Ball goes back to ground. Players are asking the question. And the umpire said no, he didn't have prior opportunity, but he jumped in on the ball, and the umpire throws the ball up again. This time Cripps slaps it forward, goes the way of Bo Walker for Northampton, goes the way of Tyler Caddy. He goes by hand, gives it out to a hard-running player there in Paletti. He gets the ball forward. Northampton get it through Harry Taylor. Kicks it up high, wide and handsome. Looking up there for the run of the ball. Ball goes deep into the boundary line, and there'll be a boundary throw-in about 25 metres around from the right point post. Wonthella end. We've got a 5-point ball game. Who can get the score on the board? Northampton have the ball in their forward 50.
The confidence is with Railways. One would think Northampton need to score soon to wrench that confidence away as the ball goes into the air. Player diving on top of it. Players diving on top of it. I think it is at the base of the pack, Walker. And the ball will be thrown up once again. So it is a sun-drenched. We thought the rain might come, but it is a sun-drenched WA Country Builder Stadium at the moment. The shadow's beginning to grow. This game beginning at 3:30 this afternoon, so later than the normal time. But a big crowd has stayed to watch what will be an interesting ending to this season 2023. Of course, the Guardian medal will be decided by the Geraldton Guardian sports writer. We're talking about Fraser Williams, along with Glenn Barndon and also Dale Baines. Post-game, the ball in the half-forward area now, almost full-forward area for Northampton. The defenders are working really hard for Railways.
They're bottling out. That's Railways' go-to. They've got to bottle it up, bottle it up, bottle it up.
Ball's in the forward 50, picked up by Kingsley Smith. Goes the way of big Flynn Dillon. Flynn Dillon can't get boot the ball. Harry Taylor can, gets it forward, and a Northampton player there, and Jack Cripps has the ball held to him, and the ball will be thrown up just metres away from the goal square. So Flynn Dillon in there, so too is the big fella. Harry Taylor kicks the ball backwards, looking for some movement. In goes the Railways player, and the Railways player is caught high, is Mitchell Boyle. Mitchell Boyle plays on, short pass, finds Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr goes towards centre wing, looking for Aidan Bartolo. Priolo. Ball comes back towards Henry Anderson. Anderson puts it on his left boot, kicks it towards full forward. Ball running free, and Railways can kick it through Jarrow and Letizia. Letizia shoots on goal and misses a goal and kicks a point. And on the scoreboard for Mitchell and Brown in the opening 3 minutes of this final term, with thanks to G2 Russell Chartered Accountants, it's a 4-point ball game. 48 plays 52 in favour of the Rams.
Woodcock at 10 half back has the ball now for Railway, I should say for Northampton. Sends it further afield, a nice lead from Flynn Dillon coming down the ground. He needs to step it up as a JJ Clune medalist. He sends it out now to Braden Jupp, his captain. Jupp has got a bit of a contest from Henry Anderson, but wins out. Jupp can set something else up here. A lead from Kennedy right in front of the crowd. He gets the Bronx cheer, and Josh Kennedy will have a very important shot on goal.
Yes, 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. The superstar of AFL standard, of course. And Josh Kennedy, he played 293 league games of AFL footy, kicked 723 games of 723 goals in those games. Can he kick a very important goal for his hometown, Northampton? Goes towards goal, and he's offline, goes across the face of goal, back into the air, ball still there. Railways need to knock it through. Northampton fighting hard through Harry Taylor, and the ball will be thrown up right on the edge of the point post, and the umpire will throw the ball up. The ball's deep in the attacking zone for Northampton.
Yeah, Northampton, as I've mentioned, Pete, need to score soon to keep their confidence up. That one from Kennedy would have been good as Kennedy works hard to get it again. He's brought to ground, but he holds on to it. He tries to get it into space for teammates to run onto it. Going the way of Walker now. Walker gets it to a teammate, is quickly brought to ground, tackled high. The player on the far side needs to do something with it now. He kicks it inboard. Players setting themselves below the goals. Up goes Kennedy at the back of the pack, but it's Railways who are able to collect it as it falls to ground, but it's eventually picked up by that player in Simpson. Is quickly set upon by a gang of Railways players.
Absolutely brilliant by Railways. They're just bottling it up.
And their tackling has been fierce.
Ferocious tackling.
The ball below the goals is thrown up now. Are they running out of time? Both teams. It's really tight here this afternoon. The ball comes out the way of this player. We're talking about the player there running onto it is Callum Teakle. Teakle does well to keep it in his keeping as he's curtailed his efforts to take it forward. The ball is bottled up once again, and as Pete Bucketkeeper said, the defence for Railways has been outstanding today.
Oh, they've been fantastic. Elliot Delaney and the big fella, Memjane O'Connell, playing really well as well on Josh Cripps, who's one of the better players on the ground as well.
Ball thrown up, and the crowd getting involved. They know it's a thriller, and there goes Williamson, kicks towards goal, and the umpire will throw the ball back in, and a boundary throw in. So the boundary umpire will put the ball back into play. 4 points the margin on the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard. Northampton 8-4-52, Railway 7-6-48. We've played 5 minutes in this final term. Majority of the play has been in Northampton's forward line. Goes the way of Cale Cripps. He goes out wide. Big pack into the air. Ball running free. Goes the way of Mitchell Boyle. He feeds a handball out to Elliot Delaney. Delaney goes back inboard. Goes the way of Ruben Ulrich. Ball very close to the boundary line. Railways player gets caught in possession, and the umpire has said no, he's slung him. So the ball will go the way of the Railways player. Railways player goes the way of Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr now looking for some run. Ted Kerr picks the ball up towards the big fella, but it's not a good kick, and it goes the way of Northampton and Jamie Williams. And Jamie Williams is 60 metres from goal.
Joshy Kennedy still doesn't get anything from our umpires. There he goes now in Williams. Nice kick. It's a nice kick and mark here. Be good. Up they go. Taylor at the back. A couple of Northampton hands. Have they brought it down? No. No bits can get on that piece of leather as it's brought to ground, and the umpire will throw it up once again. Dangerously close to Northampton's goal.
So the Northampton boys are working hard. The Railways boys are working harder. So who's going to get over the top here this afternoon?
Just 4 points in it.
Yes, it's a thriller. 7 minutes played. Big crowd here. Everyone's getting a value for effort this afternoon. Ball running free. Ball slapped forward. And it's a minus score.
Could be a costly point.
So it is a very, very interesting point indeed. Northampton 8-5-53. Railways 7-6-48. So it's a 5-point ball game. Short pass from Railways. Goes the way of the player there in Jace Price on half-back. Jace Price plays on now. Kicks it up towards centre wing. Puts Flynn Dillon in a bit of mark. Flynn Dillon takes a very good mark. And Flynn Dillon is still 60 metres from goal. Sees Harry Taylor. Kicks it up towards full forward. And Big Harry goes up. And Harry Taylor takes a very good mark. And Harry Taylor is 20 metres out. Directly in front.
Pete, you could have almost written the script for that one.
Yeah, that's right. He hasn't kicked it yet.
Harry Taylor hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon.
And remember, he has been quite holding back with his kicks, Glenn, today. And
so he's 20 metres out, 25 metres out, kicking to the Wonthella end. And he's got a point. So it's a 6-point ball game. Scores 6 points in favour of Northampton. On the scoreboard for Mitchell and Brown, 8.5 minutes gone. Northampton are 8-5-53, Railways 7-6-48. The ball to be brought back in by the Railways defence. And Elliot Delaney, who's been great this afternoon for his side.
Harry Taylor telling us he's having trouble with arthritis in his knees, Pete, so that certainly is starting to have effect as the ball comes in now from Railways. But Northampton are holding sway as they keep it in their forward line. Into the half-forward area it goes, down to space, is picked up by Kingsley Smith. He kicks it inboard. Trent Simpson takes a mark about 25 metres out from goal.
And Trent Simpson, a noted goal scorer. Trent
he's had a great game today.
He's kicked one this afternoon, but his work rate has been really good. So Trent Simpson, he can stretch it to 2 goals if he can kick accurately. So it's a 6-point ball game, and we've played 9.5 minutes in this final term, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. So Trent Simpson, who is a GNFL All-Star, shooting on goal from 30 metres out, kicking to the Wonthella end. There's a big crowd here at Wonthella watching this one through. And Trent Simmons gets his second. And Northampton get their much-needed goal. And on the scoreboard for Mitchell and Brown, it is Northampton 9-5-59. They lead Railways 7-6-48.
Yes, and as the cream rises to the top, Pete, I know there's still a long way to go, but Finn Dillon has been impacting in the last couple of minutes, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Just took the words out of my mouth. A couple of big marks there. It's a really good player. He's a good footballer. He obviously won a Clone medal. I think he has 2, actually.
Yeah. We're coming back to Harry Taylor. This could be the last game of football we see him play too, I reckon.
Absolutely. Railways are doing everything they can. They're doing everything Johnny Reynolds would be asking of them, bottling up that back line, not letting them get clean ball. I think they've been fantastic today.
Well, they're not giving it to them on a plate, are they, Glenn, at the moment?
13 scoring shots to 14, so it's a very, very even contest. Ball back in the centre, and the big fella in Letessia wins at the ground for Railways, but the ball comes out the way of Tyler Caddy. Caddy for the Rams, kicks it up towards half forward, looking up there for Jack Cripps. Ball slapped away from him. Goes the way of Delaney. Delaney does well. Kicks the ball around the corner. Ball running free. Railways have an opportunity now. Ball goes the way of Henry Anderson after a handball from Saunders. Goes deep into towards the pocket. And Jack McQuee pretty happy to see the ball across the boundary line. MJ McConnell sees the ball across the boundary line in front of him. Deep in the left forward pocket. About 25 metres around. And we've got a 12-point ball game.
The pendulum swinging, Glenn.
It is interesting.
Elliot Delaney's had a fantastic game as well.
A forward that's become a defender over recent years, which is quite interesting.
It's an 11-point ball game. 11 points the margin.
The ball coming in now, and we see a mark. I know the ball be thrown up by the umpire. No mark was not paid to the Northampton custodian. Up they go again. Getting pretty dark here at WA Country Builder Stadium. The big crowd in attendance is enthralled by this grand final this afternoon. As we mentioned, 1970, the last time these two teams have met. On that occasion, I think, was it who won it on that occasion, Glenn?
Okay, yeah, it's 1970 Railways won by 9 points on that occasion.
The ball coming, Tyler Caddy, we'd like to know his stats today, Peter. I don't know if you've been keeping them.
I didn't keep
but
his.
He's got a lot of the ball in the middle and in the half-forward area and back. So he's been around the ball quite a bit this afternoon. Up goes Flynn Dillon once again. He's been good in this quarter. He's come to play. As the ball goes to the outer side, now it's picked up by the Railways player, who was able to keep hold of it. The ball goes toward the boundary and is bottled up somewhat, and Northampton now, their defenders are having to do the bottling up.
And when Railways won that grand final in 1970, Ron O'Malley kicked 5 goals on that day.
There you go. Hello to Ron, who will probably be at the game today, I'd say, but a great supporter of local footy.
Ball comes back into play. Railways desperate to get a score on the board. They trail by 11 points. So it's going to be a free kick, goes the way of Northampton.
He's been good, Glenn. Jack
McQuee has been very good all year. Gets it up towards centre wing. Williamson jumps high. Gets caught. Play on, says the call. Goes back. Northampton have an opportunity now through Josh Cripps. And Josh Cripps, no, free kick will go back. It'll go the way of Cale Cripps, and he's got a few pennants to run out.
He does.
So Cale Cripps plays on. Gets a short pass to Josh Cripps. So Josh Cripps with the ball on centre wing. His work rate has been good again this afternoon. Lot to like about this young player. He puts it on his left boot, kicks it up towards full forward or half forward. Looking up there for Harry Taylor. He gets slapped out of it. Ball running free. And it goes the way of Henry Anderson for Railways. Anderson kicks the ball on his left boot, but he kicked the ball out of bounds on the full perhaps. And the ball will be brought back in by Northampton. So Northampton.
Hey, Henry Anderson had the most possessions last week for Railways. He's probably been up there again, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's up there. Jesse Anamidi, Henry Anderson, Jordan Williamson, Dion Anthony.
Okay, the ball was with Railways on the far side. It's with Connell, the youngster. Kicks it down the wing in front of the scoreboard, which is his side trailing by some 11 points at the moment. Time ticking away. 14 and a half minutes gone in this grand final.
You feel as though Railways need a goal, don't you, Glenn?
Yeah,
they do.
They need to steady the ship a little, because the pendulum has swung in favour of Northampton now, one would think.
Good mark again by Northampton.
Yeah, the ball up into the air, and it looks like, was it Dillon again that took that mark?
Really taken over.
Yeah, he has. He's certainly...
Great last quarter.
He has.
It's all that dancing in Ibiza, please.
He sends it into the half-forward area, and there's Harry Taylor. He takes a mark, plays on now. Bit of Trent Simpson magic might happen here as he tries to run onto the ball, but He's
Well done,
beaten
Ruben
on
Ulrich.
that occasion
Well
by
done.
Ruben Ulrich, who does well in defence and ensures that the ball keeps out of the way of Simpson. Railways now down the line.
Goes back towards Tunbridge. Tunbridge kicks it up towards centre wing. And Railways have the numbers here as Jamie Huggins kicks the ball forward. And Railways have an opportunity now.
Here it comes.
The ball spills out. Goes away O'Connell. Gets a kick forward. In goes the Northampton defence. Railways
Good tackle.
fires forward. And the umpire said he had the ball held to him. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 15 minutes gone in this final term with thanks to GT Russell.
A very
Chartered
important tackle, that
Accountants.
one.
A very good tackle it was too.
one of your
It stopped him in his tracks. Ball comes forward. Goes the way of Northampton. And the Northampton player there couldn't believe his luck. No one came towards
Tyler
him.
Caddy.
Ball goes forward and comes back now. Comes back towards Henry Anderson. Short pass and finds Mitchell Boyle. Mitchell Boyle is on the backside of the square. Right on the square line. So Mitchell goes out wide. Finds a teammate. So Railways need to get the ball in there quickly. The ball with Elliot Delaney now. Delaney, big kick. He lies where the forwards are. Jack McQueen's there. Ball comes to ground. And Northampton looking to get it out of trouble, and they do. Comes from Woodcock. Goes the way there of a teammate. Back to Jump. And Northampton get rid of the ball just in the nick of time. And a good mark taken by the Northampton player. Good bit of play from Northampton. Playing with courage. Ball goes the way of Jack Cripps now.
He's been courageous this afternoon, is Jack Cripps.
Plays on, short pass, looking for Josh Cripps. Sees the ball towards the boundary line. The boundary line comes into play. Jack Cripps gets it to Josh Cripps. The ball is over the boundary line. And there'll be a boundary throw in just in front of the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard.
Do you
Grand
call
final.
a kick from a Cripps to a Cripps a Cripper?
Yeah. Well, you'd have to call it something.
He's one of those words on the ABC, Glenn.
That's right. The ball to be thrown back into play. 59 plays 48 in favour of the Rams. Northampton are doing enough at the moment, but there's still time for Railways. If they can get a goal now, the ball getting closer to their 50-metre line. And the umpires and the players perhaps getting a little bit tired after a pretty ferocious day of footy. It's been a very, very keen and tight contest here at WA Country Builders Stadium. Northampton player has the ball held to him. Eventually the ball is dropped, but the umpire said he had no prior opportunity, and the umpire will throw the ball up. Scoreboard update: Northampton 9-5-59. They lead Railway 7-6-48.
Trying to getting out of the pack, both sides working hard, but goes backward before it comes forward for Northampton as the Northampton defence dive on top of it and keep it in their keeping and slowing things down. Trying to slow things down because they have a reasonable lead, but a free kick has been found to go the way of Connell. So Connell has a free kick now. Probably tackled a little high, one would think, or the player was into his back. So if Connell can nail this one, it is still game on Donkey Kong, but let's see what happens here. Connell, an Nagle Catholic College student, who's had a pretty good season with the Blues. Sending it toward the golf club end. Looks pretty good off the boot. Holds up in the air and goes through for a goal. So Connell has scored a much-needed goal for Railways at a very crucial time in the grand final.
As we see Northampton making a change, Taylor Caddy has come off. Looks like his shoulder is not in a good way.
He's not in a good way.
So Northampton return Cam Holmes to the ground. But looking at the scoreboard, it is very, very tight indeed. And a very good goal there to Railways. Railways now 8 goals, 6, which is 54. And they trail Northampton 9-5-59. So we've got a 5-point margin here in our magnificent grand final for 2023.
I feel like Northampton need to settle a little bit, don't they? It's just still a little bit full on.
Both teams really haven't found that settling groove, really. They're both really both in this game as it begins to unfold here in the latter stages of the final term. Latassia knocks it out in the middle. It's picked up by Boyle. The little general rods straight down the middle of the ground, and it kicks a much-needed goal, or does he?
It's the post.
Goes over the
He's hit the goal. He's got a goal.
It's the post, I think.
Waiting for the umpire's decision. It's a goal.
Unbelievable.
Not quite sure, but eventually it was off Mitchell Boyle or off
They're
the
starting to
players
tip the
at the fall of the ball. So now a 1-point ball game in favour of the Blues.
So Railways are leading the first time this afternoon. So Mitchell Boyle, marvellous goal, won the ball out of the centre, And the game is certainly turned on its head, because I think the many thousands of people who came here today were expecting Northampton to win and win well. And Railways, with 19 and a half minutes gone in this last quarter, 1 point up. An amazing scoreline on the Mitchell and Brown scoreboard. It is Railways 9-6-60. They lead Northampton 9-5-59.
Can Northampton work back into this game? It's only 1 point, but the pendulum certainly is having an impact as it goes the way of Railways. Losing Tyler Caddy is timely for Railways because he was a big ball possession getter in the middle of the ground for Northampton. He's come off with a bit of an injury, a little bit worse for wear.
How much of those 250 metres hurt Northampton now?
Exactly. Josh Cripps out in the middle now, into space. Going the way of a couple of players. Kingsley Smith comes through, is almost tackled high, but the ball goes over his head and the ball is bottled up once again, still inside the centre square. So the umpires have had a pretty big job this afternoon in this tight affair in season 2023, the crescendo being the grand final. Up into the air they go. Tyler Caddy is edging.
Ready to go again.
Ready to get him back onto the ground, and they need him, one would think.
Yes, it's going to be a very, very desperate 5 minutes of play. There won't be a lot of time on in this quarter. Railways have added some 2 goals in this quarter, and Northampton have added 1. The ball's in the centre. Dion Anthony is tackled. The umpire says the ball was held to him, so the ball will be thrown up again in the centre of the ground. So it is a tight contest here at WA Country Builders Stadium. Railways are in front. Can they hang on, or can Northampton do something? Goes away and Cripps. Gives it to Walker. Walker goes forward. Layers throwing himself at the ball now. Ball comes out. In goes Kennedy. Kennedy grabs the ball. Shoots on goal. And the ball's knocked away. And the ball is still in play as it goes the way of Northampton. And umpires asked the question. It's very close to the boundary line. And players going in ferociously at the ball. The ball was going towards goal. It dropped short, and Railways were able to bring it out. And the Railways defenders have worked tirelessly this afternoon.
22 minutes almost gone in the grand final, and it's at the goals of Northampton. Can they score? Taylor, he gets it, but he's quickly brought to ground. It's bottled up once again. The defence, as we've mentioned and reiterated right throughout the game, the defence for Railways has been phenomenal this afternoon. And if they win this game, they have a lot to do with it. The ball coming in now. It is knocked forward by Latassia, knocked back by Latassia, out of the pack, going toward the boundary. Working desperately are the defence for Railways as they take it over the line. And the ball will be thrown in once again. So it is a 1 point ball game in favour of Railways.
And the fortunate thing for Railways, they are in front at the moment. It's very, very hard to move the ball forward. Northampton, can they do something? They have the ball in their forward 50. It's on the outer side. And the Railways, all they need to do is bottle it up. They have the ball.
They've done all the hard stuff, haven't they, Railways?
They have.
All that backline stuff.
So the ball is deep in the forward line for Northampton, about 55 metres from the Wonthella end. On the outer side, ball comes back into play. Harry Taylor slaps the ball forward. Picked up by Railways Adamini. Northampton send the ball back. Goes the way of Kingsley Smith. And there's the start. Railways have won a thriller. This is a grand final for the ages, and Railways have won a grand final that no one expected them to win. Final scores, Railways 9-6-60 have defeated Northampton 9-5-59, so it's been a marvellous win and a job well done by the Railways side. A very, very strong performance and a very, very good effort indeed, and a very, very powerful win to the Railways Blues. And I would say, Peter, we will never see a star-studded side like that again in our history or our lifetime, where you have 2 AFL superstars in the one side and they still get beaten by a team of team footballers.
Yeah, Glenn, and you look back, those 250 metres turned the game. Look, I mean, and Railways did everything they could to bottle the game up, to contest the ball. Exactly what you said, Pete, that John Reynolds said on the radio. Contested ball, hard of the ball carrier, 50 metres is a killer.
Yeah, simple stuff is all it is at the end of the day. It's a simple game football, as they say, Pete, and Railways showed that today. And for the first time since 2010, they have won a grand final.
So there is a bit of conjecture about the score. So we're waiting on the score. So it might be a draw, and there might be extra time, we think. it could be a draw.
The umpires are hanging around and waiting for confirmation.
There has been a little bit of discussion. We're waiting on the goal umpires are now checking the scoreboard, but we do believe there is some conjecture about the score. There has been a few issues with the scoreboard throughout the day, and we're waiting on the score. It could be a draw, and then we'll play extra time. It'll be 5 minutes each way.
Really?
Yes.
This could be very interesting.
So we're waiting on it. The umpires are on their own, of course. The goal umpires have been left to be isolated, which is fair call. So we're waiting on the goal umpires to come over and have a talk.
That's it.
So the score, they haven't waved the flag as yet. We're waiting on the scoreboard to be a semaphore, waiting on the score. So let's wait.
Oh.
It's all like waiting on it.
No, I don't think that we have a result just yet, gentlemen.
No, the umpires are coming over. So interesting scoreline at the moment. We believe Railways have won by a point, but we're waiting on the scores to be.
Railways have already taken the cup to the ruck.
We're waiting for the correct weight. Waiting for the correct weight to be called. So this is very interesting indeed. So unbelievable, really, that the scoreboard, electric scoreboard, could be wrong. So just
might be a draw yet.
So wait on it.
Might be a draw yet.
Waiting on it. So it looks like there could be a draw, which is another sensation. Railways will probably lose a little bit of momentum because I think they've won the game.
Yeah, they've already thought they had the cup on their shoulders.
So just wait. We can't believe it.
Northampton have regrouped again now, so they sense that something is about.
So waiting on it.
They're bringing the cup back in off the ground.
The cup's coming back in. It's a draw. We've got to play extra time.
Have they said that, Glenn, yet?
Well, I think, yes, it has. They brought the score in. Waiting on the scoreboard to be altered. Waiting on the scoreboard to be changed. Electronic scoreboard. And it's a draw. It's a draw. It is 9-6 apiece. 9-6 apiece. So 9-6-60. Waiting on the goal scoreboard to be changed, but waiting on it. Maybe it's 9-5 apiece.
But whatever it is, it's a draw, Glenn.
It's a draw, so we play 5 minutes each way, as far as I believe.
A sensation here at WA Country Builders Stadium. Railways thought they'd won the grand final by a point. There's technicality with the scoreboard. The goal umpires came in and they weren't happy with it, and now the result is that it was incorrect and we have a draw on our hands, and that means we will play extra time.
Yeah, amazing. So wait on the scoreboard. It must be hard to change these electronic scoreboards because we've seen it a couple of times today where they haven't been able to change the score to what the umpires want it to be.
So the euphoria, the agony and the ecstasy, it's all happening all at once.
Gee whiz, the game isn't done yet. What an amazing, I've never seen anything like it.
So what do we have, Glenn? You said 5 minutes each way?
Yes, we'll have to confirm that.
We'll just wait and we'll get told what's happening in just a moment.
Yeah, we'll confirm what that is, but we're still waiting on the scoreboard to be changed. I've never seen anything take so long. So we believe they'll go to time on, and we'll find out.
We need to find out.
So the ball will be in back in the centre. So I would imagine they'll be given a period of time where they can regroup and be given a time.
They need the lights on soon.
So they're waiting for the umpires to signal, and as soon as the score gets updated, they will be able to wave the flags, but they're waiting for the scoreboard to be updated, and the electronic scoreboards must be very difficult to rewind because the ball is taking a long time.
This is a sensation, isn't it, Glenn? We've never seen anything like this before.
Amazing.
But
when you have an electronic scoreboard, you expect it to be
But the thing is that it's exciting because it's a draw, and now we've got to go into extra time.
Yeah,
both sides have played pretty well this afternoon.
Yeah, we would have known it was a draw if the scoreboard was right, so it makes it very difficult. Here we are. They are difficult to rewind as they rewind it now, and they're looking for a score. So it's coming back. Here it comes. 9-6 apiece. 9-6-60. 9-6-60. And now we'll have full time. So the scoreboard was wrong, and you wouldn't believe it, would you? Scores are level after what we thought Railways had won a thrilling game. They still might, of course, but we've got a time on period now. So both sides go back.
And we believe it is 5 minutes each way, but we'll get confirmation of that hopefully.
I think anyone knows.
Here we go.
What is it, Ernie?
Yeah, we know that. But do they play
What do
extra
we do
time?
now?
We wanted to know what the extra time is. Oh, that's
No,
we
Colin-
know it's a draw.
No, Colin Cox has confirmed 5 minutes each way.
Okay, 5 minutes each way. Thank you.
5 minutes each way.
Gee, it's going to be hard for Railways after that euphoria now, Pete, to Glenn to knuckle back down.
Okay, 5 minutes each way. So
This is where it becomes a mental game, doesn't it?
oh, it's very tough. So Railways will be going to the southern end, or to the Wonthella end, and Northampton are going to the golf club end. So waiting on the umpires, and there's a different umpire out there too this afternoon. So because Brian Cohen isn't out there at all, there's another umpire. I don't know whether Brian Cohen broke down or whether he wasn't in the umpiring, I don't know. So there's another umpire out there, and there's umpire Luxton and there is umpire Pratt. So the ball will be thrown up, and we've got 5 minutes each way in this very unusual situation. 5 minutes each way. Times will level at full score after the scores were checked by the umpires. So it was a draw, and we've got 5 minutes each way. And this first 5 minute is thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors as umpire Luxton puts the ball into the air, and let's we go again. A sensation here at WA Country Builders Stadium, and no one's left the ground as the ball comes the way of Railways. Railways player there, Dion Anthony, has the ball held to him, and he goes to ground after a heavy tackle. And there's going to be plenty of pressure on the ball carrier Pryor. We could be here all night. We might have to turn the lights on. Ball comes the way of the Railways side now. Out it goes. Northampton leading the race there through Cale Cripps. Cale Cripps sees the ball, comes up the way of Kingsley Smith, kicks it forward, and Kingsley Smith marks it now. Kingsley Smith has the ball, kicks it towards the forward line, looking for a big mark here from the big fella, Josh Kennedy. He can't control it. Railways defence do well. The Railways defenders run out of the trouble zone, goes to Kerr, back towards Railways. Railways player gets rid of the ball just in the nick of time, and the ball comes forward, but Northampton see the ball cut off by Ted Kerr.
Ted Kerr, he's had a good couple of games, especially the final series for Ted Kerr has been good for Railways as he sends it further afield. Up into the air they go. No one can take the mark. The ball goes the way of Braden Jupp in the end. So Braden Jupp, Captain Courageous, will he be at the end of this 10 minutes? We'll send it forward now. Braden Jupp into the pocket it goes. Over the back is Josh Kennedy. He takes it. Jack Cripps, sorry, that's taken the mark. So Josh Cripps has taken the mark. So he will have a shot on goal. The sun is setting here in the west, and the lights may need to come on before this game is over.
Jeez, I don't know if I can handle the pressure, Pete. I'm going to crack under pressure.
Okay, Northampton having a shot on goal now. So in he comes now. Kicking toward goal at the
Very
golf club
shot.
end. The pressure is on as the ball comes in. Drop short, and the mark is taken. And it looks like it is
A Northampton mark.
It is a Northampton mark. It's Harry Taylor, I think, at the front of the pack. Now, Harry's kicking has been abominable so far today.
Hang on, someone else took it. Sorry, Pete, someone else has got it. Might be Kingsley Smith, is it?
So the ball has come back to, is it Kingsley Smith? He's got it.
Trent Simpson.
Trent Simpson, well, he'll get this. He'll get this. Trent Simpson will seal this one. Trent Simpson has had a tremendous game today, and he certainly has risen to the occasion, has the youngster. So Trent Simpson kicking toward the golf club end. See what he can do.
So Trent Simpson's kick 2. Can he make it number 3?
He puts it through the middle, and Northampton hit the front in the grand final.
So 1 minute into that term, and 1 minute gone. So it's going to be a very interesting effort. So Trent Simpson gets his third of the afternoon, and Northampton lead by 6 points here on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL footy. The game that has continued because after full time it was found out that the scoreboard was wrong, and we've had to go back, and now we're playing extra time. So Northampton draw first blood in the first minute of this extra time.
Gee, Peter and Glenn, it'd be a horrible way for Railways if they didn't win, wouldn't it, after the they had? It'd be horrible.
You would think, yeah, it's tragic.
Well, the ball going forward now for Northampton. They have scored the first goal of the extra time. And they have the run of the green as we see it going further into the forward line now. And there is Bo Walker. Sends it into the half-forward area, but out of defence. A beautiful mark by Jordan Williamson. Williamson's been good this afternoon in the grand final. Kicks to the outer side. He's looking for support out there. Does he find it? It goes the way of a Railways player who looks for the sanctuary of the boundary and finds it, and the ball rolls over on the Falls Road side. Yes,
I think it would have taken the wind right out of Railways' sail. The emotion of it, you touched on it earlier, Peter. It's going to be very hard for them to come back, but there's still 9 minutes to play in this game, so Railways still got possession. A lot of experience out there. Henry Anderson screws it around the corner. Jesse Adamini gets an awkward bounce. In goes Michael. Michael gets a kick forward.
There's Tyler Caddy. He's been a great player today.
Tyler Caddy, who's been good. And the player, Tyler Caddy, back on the ground. Good mark taken by Flynn Dillon, who had a great last quarter. Flynn Dillon plays on.
Kennedy.
It forward. Josh Kennedy tries to get a bounce. Doesn't. Ball runs free. Comes back towards Northampton. Railways have it now. Picked up by Huggins. Huggins kicks it out wide. Northampton players out there can wax.
That's Cripps with the ball now. Cripps at almost centre wing. Northampton have had all the possession in this first 5 minutes of extra time. Going down the line. Another goal here would be costly. Mentally for Railways it would be pretty tough as it goes away with Harry Taylor. He's been in a lot of positions like this as Harry Taylor. Now, the AFL players know the pressure and how to deal with it, and Harry certainly is one of those. So Harry Taylor, as I said, he's had trouble with his kicking all the last couple of weeks. Goes for a short kick. He's looking for a player to come through and try and take the mark, and it is taken. And it looks like it's
Flynn Dillon.
Woodcock. Is it Flynn Dillon?
No, Flynn Dillon kicked it down there.
So I think it's Woodcock, is it?
So the ball is with Northampton.
So Northampton's a bit dark here at WA Country Builders Stadium. So
I think it's Flynn Dillon.
Is it Flynn Dillon who's got the ball? Yes, it is. So Flynn Dillon, I can tell it's him.
He's been unreal, hasn't he?
He has been good this afternoon. So Flynn Dillon scores this. It could be the sealer for the game. Well, Flynn Dillon, he's only about 25 metres out, kicking toward the golf club end. He scores another goal. And we go into the second 5 minutes of extra time.
Hang on, guys. Get off the
ground. With Northampton leading 66-60.
Yeah, so people unaware, they thought there's still another 5 minutes to play. But an interesting scoreline and 12 points to margin in favour of Northampton. So an interesting scoreline it is indeed.
12-point ball game.
So Northampton, after the first extra time, have kicked a couple of goals, one to Trent Simpson and one to Flynn Dillon. So Flynn Dillon gets his second. Trent Simpson has kicked 3.
Flynn Dillon has almost been the game breaker here, Pete.
Has made some very big moves.
So the score as we go into the half-time break of the extra time, which is amazing stuff in itself, Northampton are 11 goals, 6-72. They lead Railways 9-6-60. 12 points to margin. So 2 goals is the margin and the difference here at Wonthella as the kids run from one end of the ground to the other, and it has been a very, very memorable grand final.
Now, a big crowd has been entertained here today, but it's as you said, Pete, Railways thought they had the cup ready to take back to the recreation ground.
Fair enough to them, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
We thought they had it.
Yep.
Now, Northampton now, if they get the ball now, they've got 2 goals up their sleeve, they've got to control the game, kick the ball around, maybe not to start, but just control.
I'd have to say right now it's very hard for Railways to win
Absolutely. This. So there's the siren. We're underway in the extra time, the second quarter of extra time. MJ McConnell slaps it down. Railways need the quick goal. They need it now. Ball comes the way of Northampton. Northampton player has the ball, and the umpire says he didn't have prior opportunity, so the umpire will come in. In fact, you give him a free kick. Yep. Railways player gave a free kick away. So Northampton player in defence with the ball. Kingsley Smith. Kingsley Smith goes back. Big kick up towards half forward. Another goal for Northampton would put the nail in the coffin of Railways. Goes the way of Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor has the ball on the boundary line on the outer side. Matt Kimberley gets it across the ground. And Railways trying to get the ball forward. Northampton, everything to gain from here. They have the ball on centre wing. Umpire giving it plenty of opportunity. And in fact, the ball will come to the umpire. He'll throw the ball up. So the ruckman will go at it. right on the boundary line. Breeze still blowing across the ground. Whistle on play. Player was held while on in possession. And that's big Josh Cripps. He hasn't done much wrong either this afternoon.
No, he's been in everything this afternoon, Glenn. Josh Cripps at centre wing.
So Josh Cripps sets sail with a big kick. Puts it on his left boot. Up towards goal.
Kennedy!
Kennedy couldn't mark. Comes to ground. Railways player sees the ball forward. Northampton have an opportunity now. There's two of them. They run into each other. Jack Cripps is there. Whistle on play. And the Railways player will be rewarded for a good tackle. And will go the way of the Railways player there in Scriven. Scriven gets it in towards the centre.
What's happened?
It's going to come back. It is like the last flight of the trench warfare for our defenders at Railways, Pete. They've been in the trenches all day. And
they haven't done too bad.
No, they haven't done too bad at all. So the ball coming out of defence now. What with Railways. It's a fantastic game. And Glenn's seen a few of them, so he knows what he's talking about. A few grand finals in the GNFL. The ball coming out of defence, comes away with Anderson. Doesn't take the mark, or does in the end. Flynn Dillon, he's found a lot of fitness in the last quarter to have a huge impact this afternoon, and who'll win this game as the ball goes forward for Anthony, or does it? There's Tyler Caddy. I've loved his game this afternoon. He runs onto the ball along with Adamini. Adamini sends it into space. Can Railways get a score on the board? A score here would be timely as they kick it in toward the pocket, but it finds the boundary too quickly and is seen over the white line. So Glenn, you will have to be deciding with both Fraser Williams and also Dale Baines who's going to take out the best on ground today.
And Peter Keefe, before we do that, who are some of the players that you think are in contention?
The big fella, Cripps, Flynn Dillon, Elliot Delaney, what's his name, and Jesse Adamini. So Northampton have to control the ball now, Pete. They get the ball, hold the ball, take your 30 seconds, chip it around. You've got to kick 2 goals, Railways.
Okay, the ball is in the shadows, if you can say shadows. The lights are on here at WA Country Builders Stadium. Do you believe it? The lights are on here at WA Country Builders Stadium. As we see now the ball at the end for Railways. The score here will be timely, but time is running out on the clock, one would think. 2 goals in arrears are Railways. When they thought they had the 2023 grand final in their pocket, it was snatched away because the scoreboard was incorrect. The ball going forward now for Railways, and they are bottling up. The Northampton defence is bottled up too. Jack McQueen, he's had a great season, Glenn.
He has been outstanding. And it looks like Railways are going to fall a little bit
Josh
short.
Kennedy's come right down in defence here.
Well, they need to block it in there, and they need to get the ball forward. Lots of support for Northampton this afternoon. They came here expecting to win and win easy. It hasn't been easy. They've had to work very hard. All comes the way of Jack Cripps, throws the ball around the corner and finds Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor gives it back towards Jack Cripps, and Northampton are going to win a thriller here.
Look at Harry Taylor, slow down.
Absolutely sensational stuff.
Back to Harry Taylor, and Northampton can move the ball forward, and Harry Taylor back towards Jack Cripps, and Josh Cripps. And Josh Cripps has the ball.
Siren can't be far away.
And Josh Cripps has been outstanding this afternoon. Josh Cripps puts it on his left boot. Big kick. The big fella goes up. Oh! Kennedy couldn't mark the ball. In goes Hundred. Ball still picked up by Trent Simpson.
Beautiful kick.
Ball running free. Ball goes towards the goals. Picked up by Kingsley Smith.
And the sealer by Kingsley Smith in the grand final. Sensational stuff by Northampton. When they thought they were down and out, they've been able to regroup and win this grand final by some. Is it 18 points, I think, now on the scoreboard? And Trent Simpson, he has played a significant part in this victory. He's a young blend from Northampton, and in the shadows of the tall timber of both Harry Taylor and Josh Kennedy, he has starred in my book this afternoon.
He has. Kingsley Smith gets his first of the afternoon. And yeah, it's a bit disappointing for Railways because to lose the game in the final time on period is an amazing situation, but Northampton kicked the first 2 and they've dug really deep, but Railways can only be very, very proud of their effort this afternoon.
They'd have to be proud of their effort because they've
been
really
outstanding.
Played to capacity, that's for sure. The ball back in the middle, up they go now, up into the air. Cripps wins it down again, but it's Boyle who sends it forward for Railways. Adamini sees it trickle forward, and a free kick will go further down the field because Boyle was dealt with. And the siren sounds, and Northampton have won sensational fashion in the 2023 Grand Final. Northampton have won by 18 points over Railways in a sensation.
Yes, it's an amazing game, the football. Who would have thought this was going to happen? And Northampton have run out eventual winners. Northampton 12 goals, 6-78, have defeated Railways 9-6-60. So in the time on, 2 5-minute periods either way, Northampton added 3 goals. 2 goals in the first extra time to Trent Simpson, and then Kingsley Smith put the nail in the coffin in the dying minute of that second extra time. And Northampton have got there in the end, an 18-point margin, but it's been an amazing game, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But you're tuned to Radio Mama, just repeating, the grand final winner for 2023 has been Northampton, and they've done it by 18 points, and you're tuned to Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football.
Brendan O'Malley Motors GNFL Game Day is brought to you by our member for Gerald on Radio Mama.
You're listening to Radio Mama, 100.5 FM through Geraldton, 102.9 FM through Narberth, 95.7 FM through Motherwell, 97.7 FM through Mount Magnet, 98.3 FM through Meeka FM in Meekatharra, and 98.9 FM through Wiluna. You can also listen live
Alright, we'll start calling players out for the premiership medals. We've got number 12, Bart, Aiden Martolo. Number 2, Kingsley Smith. Number 3, Jacob Williams. Number 4, Tony Simpson. Number 5, Joshie Cooks. Number 6, Cole Walker. Number 7, Harry Taylor. Number 8, Tom Caddy. Number 9, Jordan Irwin. Number 11, Kyle Cooks. Number 13, Jack McQueen. Number 14, Jaden Paletti. Number 16, Kieran Holmes. Number 19, Jack Cripps. Number 21, Callum Teagle. Number 23, Colin McGee. Number 24, Flynn Dillon. Number 25, Jared Woodcock. Number 40, Josh Purdy. Number 28, Michael Wright. And last but certainly not least, our skipper, number 17, David Jupp.
And to the coach, Grady Tumblety. And Warwick Teagle to present the Premiership flag and the Premiership Cup. Well done to Northampton Football Club, GNFL 2023 Premiers.